Well, the waiting game continues, but the storms are getting closer and closer and closer. Right now, it's quiet east of Highway 65, west of Highway 65, showers. And once you get to I-49 and west of I-49, we've got clusters of severe storms. We did have a cluster of severe warning storms moving into the Nevada area. That warning has since been lifted. Still watching this closely. It looks like on the southwest edge of this, back on the Kansas side of the border, there's some rotation showing up, so we'll be watching that. Again, tornado watch is in effect for western Missouri, eastern Kansas into the evening hours. Further south, this was a tornado warned storm, and radar actually picked up debris with that storm, so confirmed tornado warning now in northeast Oklahoma. That storm has since weakened a bit, or at least the circulation itself has weakened as it continues to progress toward northwest Arkansas. Here's what we're looking at. It looks like it's the full trifecta. I mean, we're looking at a risk of tornadoes weighted toward the west this evening in terms of stronger tornadoes especially. Also, the hail risk is going to be weighted toward the west. That's where the largest hail possibilities are going to be, maybe up to tennis ball size. And then the wind risk is also has a tendency to be weighted toward the west. But I think as these clusters of storms grow into more of a line of storms, there will definitely be a risk into our eastern counties for damaging winds and also a risk of embedded tornadoes. Can't rule out also maybe some pockets of hail, but I think the hail threat certainly is going to be more weighted toward western Missouri, northwest Arkansas earlier in the evening. Here's our hour-by-hour forecast. Looking at how things progress, this is 8 o'clock. Notice how it's still kind of hodgepodge. We've got these clusters of storms kind of up and down Highway 65, stretching back into northwest Arkansas. Certainly a risk of severe weather with these storms. As we work through 10, 11 o'clock, notice how the emphasis is going to be between Highway 65 and approaching Highway 63 at that point. And notice now we've got more of a line, and that's going to continue to push east through our eastern counties through late evening. And I think between midnight and 1 a.m., that risk of severe weather, most of it is going to exit off to the east. And for the remainder of the night, while there could be some showers and possibly even a thunderstorm or two, the risk for tornadoes, I think, will be over with at that point. Although if we do get a stronger storm after 1 a.m., it could certainly produce maybe some hail. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, I think there will be some lingering showers to start the day. Otherwise, as we get into the afternoon, there may be a narrow window where showers and thunderstorms may try to fire up along the cold front as it's clearing our eastern counties. There will be a limited risk. This would be about through 3 o'clock. I think the risk is mainly going to be hail with those storms if they develop, but the overall risk, I do want to stress, looks pretty low. And notice how it's focused toward Highway 63 and east of Highway 63. Looking at rainfall, that is going to be another issue. The atmosphere has a lot of moisture in it right now, so these storms are going to be able to produce very high rainfall. Clear Creek area by about 5:57 or just before 6 o'clock this evening. Portia near 6:06 this evening. And it would be, I think, between 6:05 and 6:10 that we would see that circulation move into southwestern St. Clair County. So again, the circulation is still off to the west of El Dorado Springs, but it will be moving into southwestern St. Clair County in about 15 to 20 minutes. So you've got time to prepare. Again, this storm, we've been watching it over the last 25 minutes. The circulation in it has gradually tightened up, and it looks relatively strong at this time. And we've been seeing also pictures. We have Weather Chat. We've been seeing pictures that have been sent in of spotters on the storm west of El Dorado Springs, and you can at the very least see a base lowering, maybe a precursor to potential tornado development with that particular thunderstorm. Latest scan coming in, you can see now that the circulation is north of Highway 54, located to the southeast of Harwood, still tracking towards southwestern St. Clair County. And again, it should be in, I think, crossing the county line into southwestern St. Clair County by about 6:05 this evening. In addition to that, there are other storms that we're tracking very closely right now, hot on the heels of this lead storm that is tornado warned that's approaching St. Clair County. We've got another tornado warned storm. This is to the west of Nevada. That one prompting a warning that does extend across western Vernon County. Further south, we've also got a couple of tornado warned storms or at least one of which it looks like the northern storm maybe has the warning has been lifted, but you could still see a tornado warning for southern sections of Benton County in northwest Arkansas. We've got a couple of different thunderstorms or clusters of thunderstorms that are going to be moving out of Benton County and across McDonald County into Berry County. So it looks like this is the very beginning of what will probably be a long evening of severe weather. At least at times, we're probably going to have tornado warnings issued for some of these different storm clusters as they continue to work in from the west and the southwest. Right now, again, the only tornado warned storm in our viewing area is the one that is approaching southwestern St. Clair County. Looks like it will stay just outside of the northwest corner of Cedar County. As it continues to track, looks like a little north of the El Dorado Springs area. That circulation again now north of Highway 54. Going back over to investigate what those winds look like right now. You can see that circulation right there. We'll go ahead and put the pointer on it there for you. And if we take you back in time, you can see how it really intensified as it was approaching Highway 54. That's 5:35 this evening. This is 5:44 this evening. At that point, I think it was probably at its strongest. And now that it's located north of Highway 54 here at 5:52, the circulation is still there. It's just not maybe quite as strong as it was 10 minutes ago when it was much closer to the Highway 54 area. That circulation right now is just a little southwest of Portia, a little south of EE Highway. Pretty close to EE Highway and AA Highway there to the north of Oak Ridge, north of Dedrick. That circulation again looks like it's showing up just a little west-southwest of Portia. Again, that's still over in sections of Vernon County. From there, it still looks like it will track into southwestern St. Clair County. Matt, while I've been talking, have any additional pictures come in showing some of the highlights of this storm?
Nothing else on pictures. I have been tracking kind of the line of thunderstorms that are further down into the south. This is kind of the leading edge of thunderstorms is along the I-49 corridor, and it is worth mentioning people in kind of that southwest corner of Missouri, northwest corner of Arkansas, getting some pretty good thunderstorms. There is a tornado warned storm that is really to the south of Bentonville, to the north of Fayetteville. Not seeing any sign of rotation right now in Missouri, not seeing any sign of rotation into our viewing area, but this is another area of concern that we have to watch out for. These are some powerful thunderstorms, winds in this area about 70 miles per hour. So that's enough to easily cause some power damages and also dropping some good sized hail. Not seeing anything tornadic in this area, but is definitely worth monitoring over the next couple minutes.
Yeah, and another thing that I've been looking at here while Matt's been talking is just to see if there's any sign of a debris signature with that circulation at any point as it was tracking across Highway 54 when it looked like that circulation was at its strongest. I don't see anything that's jumping out at me telling me that, hey, we had a tornado on the ground. But again, earlier there was at least one picture that was submitted that did seem to appear to show a base lowering and maybe kind of a hint that this thing is trying to produce. Certainly, when you look at radar, you can see the circulation. This is El Dorado Springs. This is where that circulation is located. Portia is located right about in there, and it's tracking northeast. These storms tonight will not be as fast moving as the ones that we had back on Friday afternoon into Friday evening. These are going to be slower moving thunderstorms. This particular circulation is moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. That circulation appears to be focused. Let's see if I can go to a different radar view. It still appears to be focused pretty close to EE Highway and AA Highway, just to the west of Portia. Looks like it may be, about, let's see if I can get this to come in for me. It looks like maybe just a few miles to the west of Portia at this time is where that circulation is currently located. So at this point, we still have, again, a tornado warned storm moving out of Vernon County, approaching southwestern St. Clair County. That circulation it was developing as it moved across Vernon County. It really kind of peaked in intensity as it crossed Highway 54. Here in the last scan that we've got to look at, it's still very apparent to the west of Portia. It's just weakened a touch in this last scan that we've seen. It's still got, a pretty good signature of rotation with it. It's just not quite as strong as it once was. I'm going to try to clear out some of this data that I've got on a different radar view. We've got multiple ways that we're kind of taking, a look at these storms just so that we make sure that we have all the information in front of us. If you live in and around El Dorado Springs, you can see how close this circulation is. Only about 6 miles to the west-northwest of El Dorado Springs. But again, the good news is you're not under a tornado warning in and around El Dorado Springs, and it looks like this circulation should pass just to your northwest and then north. As far as some towns that might be in the path, I mentioned Portia. Looks like another set of towns might be Pape up toward Taborville, probably somewhere in that corridor between Taborville and Tiffin. These are, again, a couple of towns you can see here on the map. This is southwestern St. Clair County. Taborville, Tiffin, it looks like this circulation is going to come right across this area. And it should make its way into southwestern St. Clair County over the next 5 to 10 minutes. I'm expecting it to move across the county line at about 6:05 or shortly thereafter. The circulation right now is still located back along EE Highway just to the west of Portia. I'd put it at about maybe a mile and a half now to the west of Portia, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. This is what it looks like when we go back to our radar view. And right now you can see, if you remember back to Friday, we had these individual thunderstorms. I mean, they were on their own traveling across the area. This evening, it's a little bit more messy. We've got these clusters of thunderstorms. We don't have these individual thunderstorms in most cases. It's clusters of severe thunderstorms. And it makes it a little harder to show you everything that I want to show you, but it also means that these storms are competing with one another. So, you know, it looks like we may see these circulations kind of come and go. Also, it looks like the hail sizes will kind of come and go. We don't have like one storm that we're going to be able to track, I think, across the entire area. It's going to be these pockets of thunderstorm activity. And we've got one right now, again, moving across areas along and north of Highway 54. Dropping down toward the Joplin area, you can see we've got, looks like a little short line of storms moving into Joplin and Neosho. And then further south, we've got an extension of that line, a cluster of thunderstorms moving across McDonald County into eastern sections of Benton County. If you're watching from the Eureka Springs area, looks like that tornado warned storm is still a ways away, but I would watch it. Looks like that storm is going to tend to make a run, I think, at western Carroll County, southwestern Berry County here over the next hour. The forward movement, Matt, can you check that out for me real quick, the speed on that storm in Benton County?
Yeah.
So Matt's checking on that. Again, these storms are not as fast moving as the storms that we had back on Friday afternoon into Friday evening.
About 25 to 30, James.
So 25 to 30. So I'm going to go ahead and track that one too. That circulation, I'm going to have to look at a different radar view, make sure I'm looking at the right spot. It's a little messy. It looks like it's southwest of Bentonville. That circulation, again, tracking, say 30 miles per hour. That's going to take it across Benton County over the next half an hour. Looks like it would probably approach western Carroll County and southwestern Berry County. I would put it at about maybe 6:55, 7 o'clock is when that storm is probably going to get into those counties, unless it starts to surge to the northeast. Right now, it's not moving all that fast. So at this stage, we've got a couple of different pockets of concern. We've got the tornado warned storm still approaching southwestern St. Clair County, and then we've also got this cluster of severe storms in southwestern Missouri and northwest Arkansas. The southern end of this is what's tornado warned. That circulation still located to the southwest of Bentonville. There was another circulation that we were watching in that batch of thunderstorms that has since made its way into southwestern Berry County. We're going to take this back. This is an hour-long radar loop. We'll take this back, and I think you'll be able to see it right there. That is 5:44 this evening. You can see that circulation crossing over into McDonald County at that point. But from that time, here in the last 15 minutes, that circulation has also kind of broadened up, weakened, and that's why we don't have a tornado warning on it any longer. So at this stage of the game, we're kind of at the very beginning of this. It will be, I think, a night where at times we're going to have tornado warned storms that we're going to be tracking in our area. And I think eventually what we're probably going to find is more of a line of severe storms. In fact, that may be taking shape right now. I'm going to take the warning information off right there, but kind of broadening out this view, you can see it looks like we've got more of a line of severe storms, kind of that S shape right there, but more of a line of severe storms now getting into southwestern Missouri and northwest Arkansas. A lot of times when you go from that more individual mode of thunderstorm activity to more of a line of thunderstorms, the expectations change. And the expectations, I think, will go from looking for really large hail when they're more individual in nature and possible tornadoes and possible damaging wind gusts, to more of a mode where we start to expect a higher likelihood of damaging winds. And we'll also probably have these circulations, these embedded circulations within the line that could produce tornadoes. So it looks like we're already seeing that transition from individual thunderstorms or clusters of thunderstorms to more of a line of severe thunderstorms that will track east across the area. We can actually show you, let me see if I can find our model data here. I think I actually have it over here. I'll put it up, there it is on the toolbar. We can show you roughly how this is going to evolve. If you're watching along and east of Highway 65, really the day has been pretty uneventful so far. This is one of the models that we look at, put a lot of weight in. Actually, it's a pretty good model. It's a shorter term model that does a good job with thunderstorm activity. And watch what happens as we work through the night. So that's 8 o'clock this evening. At 8 o'clock, it looks like these storms will be lined up along Highway 65 into northwest Arkansas. And then as we work through 10 o'clock, looks like they'll be between Highway 65 and Highway 63. And then as we work through 11 o'clock, they should be crossing Highway 63. And at this point, you can see we've got really just a solid line of thunderstorms heading east. And then from there, it looks like that activity will push east out of the area sometime between midnight and 1 a.m. And I think once that happens, the tornado threat will actually, I think, really kind of focus with that line of storms. And once that line of storms exits our area, the tornado risk goes down, and I think the overall severe weather risk goes way down. We could still see maybe a hailer. There could still be maybe a strong wind gust, but I think the tornado risk comes to an end once we get past, say, 1 a.m. this morning in our area. Tornado watches are currently in effect for really all areas along and west of Highway 65. That does include northwest Arkansas and the Springfield area. I do expect, just given the overall setup, I do expect that risk for severe weather, including tornadoes, to extend east of Highway 65. So we'll probably see watches issued for our eastern counties as the evening progresses. And one of the reasons why I think that is when we take a look at the instability, I mean, this line of severe thunderstorms, which is now taking shape, it's going to be moving into this environment. We're looking at instability. We're looking at storm fuel. And so there's plenty of storm fuel or gasoline to fuel these thunderstorms. Even though temperatures may slowly cool, that instability really is not going to fade all that fast this evening. So there's plenty of gasoline for these storms to use to keep them intense as they progress east across the area. There's also going to be enough wind energy to continue to keep these storms organized as they move east across the area. The one thing that I do expect is maybe more of a transition from these more individual thunderstorms that are producing really large hail and the possibility of tornadoes to maybe more of a line of thunderstorms with the focus on damaging winds and also embedded tornadoes. Going back to the storm that has been tornado warned, it looks like that storm is now making its way into southwestern St. Clair County. It looks like at this point, kind of looking at a different view here, it looks like that circulation at this stage is right on top of, it looks like it's very close to Portia. It has, the circulation itself has weakened. So here's El Dorado Springs. Portia is located roughly right about in here. And it looks like in the vicinity of Portia where that circulation is, the circulation has weakened. It's more broad. In fact, I'll go ahead and I'll show you what I'm seeing here as we swap views. This is allow us to kind of inspect the wind fields within this cluster of thunderstorms. And you can see the circulation still. There it is, located to the northwest of El Dorado Springs. It's really gotten more broad. I'm kind of taking you back in time. That's 554. Notice near Clear Creek when it was located there, still fairly tight circulation. Now that it's making its way into southwestern St. Clair County, that circulation has gotten more broad. There's still the inbound component the outbound component, broad circulation located here in southwestern St. Clair County. Tornado risk is there. I just think that it's not as great as it was when this was crossing Highway 54 maybe 20 minutes or so ago. The circulation, it could tighten back up. I mean, that's a possibility. So based on where it is, the storm moving northeast at 25 miles per hour, that's going to bring it between Taborville and Tiffin, and looks like it will stay to the north of Roscoe. So it'll continue across southwestern St. Clair County. Looks like it would be north of Roscoe in about 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. I think we're still looking at maybe another 40 minutes before the circulation would approach Lowry City. So let's say maybe 6:45 this evening, if you're watching from around Lowry City, you got this tornado warned storm to your southwest. You probably still got another 40 minutes before it's in your area. At this stage too, it looks like that circulation has weakened some. Matt, can we get confirmation on that? I mean, has the Weather Service said anything from their perspective on this?
I'm definitely seeing a weakening rotation with you. I haven't heard anything about their plans, if they wish to take this tornado warning down, if they wish to extend it on that. I have been hearing something completely unrelated to tornado activity over in Joplin. There's power lines down. They didn't see anything tornadic. It was just straight line winds. They got winds about, I'd say, 60 miles per hour that went through the town and knocked down power lines, and already getting reports of people without power in Joplin. And it's just a powerful system that we have to get through. I'm still watching really closer to Cassville. Cassville is another area that I'm not seeing anything tornadic at this time. I want to be clear of that. But thunderstorms start to roll into Cassville, and fast winds will be quickly falling behind that as well.
So while Matt was talking about Joplin, I went ahead and kind of shifted our view down to the Joplin area to see exactly what that looks like. And again, we're using the Springfield radar, and as we look more closely at what's going on in the Joplin area, it does look like there's been a surge of winds. You know, Joplin is not super close to the Springfield radar site. It's located roughly at that point, let's see here, it's located you know, maybe about 46 miles to the west-southwest of the radar site, and we're hitting those winds at about 2,200 feet. But with that said, it still looks like there are some strong wind gusts moving through the Joplin area right now, and some of that wind energy, even though we're seeing this higher up in the storm, some of that wind energy is absolutely making it down to the surface. And of course, you know, the big clue there is the fact that you've got some power lines down, and likely as a result of strong straight line winds. Because looking at this view, I don't see any evidence that there was a tornado that tracked across the Joplin area. It just looks like more of a wind surge coming into southwestern Jasper County. Matt was talking also about Berry County, so we'll go ahead and kind of shift the view to the southwest. You can see on this here in the last scan, now at one point, this circulation right here, that was tornado warned. The circulation, though, kind of opened up, became more broad, it weakened, and you can still see it. It's located roughly right in there to the west-northwest of Seligman or to the southwest of Cassville. So that circulation is going to track across the Cassville area, and it very likely will produce some stronger wind gusts as it moves through Cassville. I can't remember what that tornado warning has in particular on it in terms of wind speeds. They're expecting, let's see, they did report with that line of storms a 69 mile per hour wind gust near Goodman, just to kind of give you an idea of what these storms are capable of. And the warning itself does call for the possibility of gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So that makes sense. You know, Matt was talking about the damaging winds in the Joplin area. We've gotten some reports of wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour near Anderson. And that line of storms, or that cluster of thunderstorms right now, is pushing into southwestern Berry County. So we could be looking at some damaging winds in that area right now. Further north, looks like we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is a very broad warning. We'll go back to our more traditional radar view. And you can see we still have this sort of S shape to the line. But we've got this portion of the line right here tracking toward the northeast. And what's interesting, and I haven't actually looked at that warning in particular, but I'm going to guess that it may come with a tornado possible tag on it.
Yes. Actually, no.
Which
one
does.
are you talking about?
That line segment that runs from Pittsburgh down toward Neosho. We'll watch it. Right now, it's a very broad, boxy, severe thunderstorm warning. Matt, if you could, go ahead and read up on that. I think they're probably expecting wind gusts of 70 miles per hour, but you can see that portion of the line right there. The reason why I'm bringing this up is something to watch is because when you take a look at this line that's coming together, I mean, you can see that S shape right there, kind of extending across southwest Missouri and across northwest Arkansas. This portion, if this solidifies more, this portion of the line is oriented more northwest to southeast. And especially later on this evening, the way the winds are set up in the atmosphere, if we get segments that look like this, those are probably going to be areas to focus our attention on for damaging winds and possibly embedded low-level tornadic circulations, because this is going to be the orientation, this northwest to southeast orientation in the line. That's going to be these sections of the line that are going to be most favorably oriented for wind energy in the atmosphere to interact with and generate those surges that could lead to damaging winds and, again, the possibility of weak tornadoes.
Jamie, that S shape is pretty similar to what happens in Springfield about 3 weeks ago, where we saw a similar kind of S-shaping bow, and that's where we had the fast damaging winds. Right now, those severe thunderstorm warnings are for 70 miles per hour. They come with considerable tags. You can get hail probably a little bit more than a quarter size. So that's what the National Weather Service is going with at this time. Not seeing anything tornadic in kind of that bending S shape, but these winds are fast enough to be what, an EF0 tornado, just coming in a straight line rather than, you know, in a funnel.
Yeah, and speaking of tornadoes, what we've done is I've gone ahead back to the St. Clair tornado warned storm, and I did that because the circulation itself is now on the eastern edge. It's located right about in here between Taborville and Tiffin, and it's on that eastern edge of the tornado warning. It's also intensified. So hopefully this view, and my on-air computer sometimes is a little bit slower, but not in this case. You can see here's the outbound winds. These are the inbound winds. This is the circulation that we've been tracking, and it looks like a new tornado warning did just get issued. That is for residents from Taborville and Tiffin northeast across northwestern St. Clair County. This does include Lowry City. So that circulation has prompted, because of it has re-intensified, that circulation has prompted a new tornado warning, and that is for northwestern St. Clair County. The circulation right now appears to be focused, I'm going to go to a different radar view, it appears to be focused just between Taborville and Pape. Looking at some roads in the vicinity of that circulation, I'm hoping as I zoom in, there's a cemetery pretty close to the circulation, Landers Cemetery. That's showing up. Hopefully I can get some southwest. So this would be like a county road, southwest 250, southwest 1025. These are some county roads in the vicinity of this circulation. As I mentioned, there is a cemetery just to the southeast of where this circulation currently is. That is the Landers Cemetery. This is northwest of Pape. This is still a little south of the Osage River, and it's tracking northeast at 25 miles per hour. So this circulation has tightened back up. It's currently located between Taborville and Pape. And I don't know that the speed has changed any. Looking at, let's see if I can get the information to come up for me. The speed is still northeast at 25. And again, it is, so it's moving northeast at 25, and it does include areas now further northeast. So, you know, we were tracking this, making its way into southwestern St. Clair County. It's now in southwestern St. Clair County. It's intensified. The circulation located between Taborville and Tiffin. Pape is located right about in there. So this is the circulation, and it's tracking northeast at 25 miles per hour. So it currently is over a very rural area, and it will stay that way. But it will be approaching Lowry City from the southwest. This is roughly the next 30 minutes. Looks like it would be near, say, chalk level at about 643. And it looks like it would approach the Lowry City area. If I remove that, looks like it would be near Lowry City. I would put it in about 35 to 40 minutes. So circulation, again, still in southwestern St. Clair County, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Looks like it would be in the vicinity of Lowry City. Let's put it at about maybe about 6:37 to 6:40 this evening. So if you live in and around Lowry City, this tornado-warned storm should be in your vicinity in just over half an hour from now.
Jamie, we do have a chaser on that system. He's reporting strong rotation. He's saying very powerful inflow. This system is getting fed. It's just not producing a funnel at this time. Very strong rotation, talking about the mezzo. We do have a shot of what's going on over into Monette, where that kind of leading edge of thunderstorms is rolling in there. Let's go to that in just a couple minutes, but are getting reports right now, Jamie, of rotation near Tifton Baptist Church. That's kind of where they're seeing it right now. That makes sense of what we're seeing on radar. They're not reporting a funnel. They're not reporting a tornado on the ground, but we do have a spotter of eyes on this.
Yeah, and right now it looks like it's basically right between Taborville and Tiffin. And it is, there's still, what's happened is the circulation intensified as it was crossing Highway 54. It weakened as it made its way into southwestern St. Clair County, and now it's re-intensified, and it could be trying to produce a tornado, this just to the west of Tiffin. I don't see a debris signature on radar. When we look for that debris signature, we're looking for that confirmation from radar that we've got something on the ground, and we're not seeing that just yet. But that doesn't mean that something couldn't be trying to develop or has already developed. Again, that circulation located just to the southeast of Taborville or to the northwest of Pape. It looks like it's very close to the Osage River and tracking off to the northeast. Let's see if I can get some county roads. Again, this is a very rural part of southwestern St. Clair County, so I'm not getting a whole lot when I zoom in, but I can see that there are some homes in the vicinity of this circulation, just to the south of the Osage River. Looks like this circulation will track east of Taborville and north of Pape as it makes its way up toward BB Highway and then eventually up toward B Highway. And looks like it will approach areas like, just looking at some communities roughly in the path of this circulation, Monegaw Springs and also Chalk Level. These are a couple of communities that are very close to where I think this circulation will track over the next 20 minutes to a half an hour. Going back to our radar view, our more traditional radar view right here, just looking at it, you can see, I mean, there's evidence that you've got a bit of that hook shape to it. You know, oftentimes when these storms, especially when they're supercellular, they've got that hook shape. And it looks like we do have that. You can see that this is the reflectivity. This is the real heavy rain and hail. This is the portion of the storm that's rotating. And you can see how we've got probably some hail and rain rotating underneath that updraft, which is located right about in here. And this is where that possible tornado is occurring right now. It's just to the southeast of Taborville, just to the north of Pape. Outside of that, just kind of, I'm looking on a different radar view. I just wanted to see if there's anything else that we're missing at this stage. And I don't see anything in particular. Again, Matt mentioned some very strong winds impacting the Joplin area with some damage to power lines in Joplin area. It also looks like we've got some strong winds moving across really a lot of southwestern Missouri.
Jamie, as you say that, can we go to the live shot of the storm tracker? It's Parker Paget. Last I heard, he was driving towards the Cassville region. If we can show his shot off, you're seeing every once in a while some flashes of lightning, and kind of hoping that they can flip that camera towards a little bit forward for us. Want to make it clear, everyone in Berry County, Stone County, Taney County, Christian County, Lawrence County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. As kind of this leading edge of thunderstorms are starting to push in. I'm not seeing anything tornadic for places south of Highway 60 at this time. Thunderstorms are coming down, winds are starting to pick up, you're getting flashes of lightning, nothing beyond that at that time, but I'm currently watching to make sure we don't see any rotation tighten up, but definitely these thunderstorms and fast winds. Jamie and Joplin, the Mesonet station there measured a gust of 62 miles per hour. That's kind of the reason why they've had some people lose power. I have some more concerns about people losing power, especially if these winds continue to produce at 60, 70 miles per hour. That's going to knock down these power lines and cause more issues.
And you know, you're talking about the straight line wind potential in southwest Missouri. The tornado potential closer to west central Missouri is still very real. We've got a couple of different tornado-warned storms, one impacting Nevada right now, another one in northwestern or western St. Clair County. And the storm that is moving through western St. Clair County continues to show signs I mean, of intensification. The circulation itself has intensified. So again, these are our 2 tornado-warned storms that we're tracking in our area. This is St. Clair County, El Dorado Springs, Lowry City is up here. Here's Osceola. To the southwest of Osceola is where that possible tornado is occurring. And as we go back to looking at the winds inside of this particular thunderstorm, you can see as we zoom in there, I mean, that circulation continues to show signs of trying to tighten up. Looks like there's a couple of different areas of circulation. We've got one right here and we've got another one right about in here, but I think this is the primary circulation that we're really needing to concern ourselves with here between Taborville and Tiffin, tracking northeast. I think the circulation has tightened up some here in the last scan, and again, maybe an indication that this storm is still trying to produce. In fact, we just got a new scan in on a separate radar source, and it looks like there's a circulation to the northeast here. So here's Taborville. I mentioned that we have 2 circulations. In the last scan that I've got on an off-air radar source, it looks like that circulation here to the northeast of Taborville has tightened up. And there is signs there that we may be looking again at this storm trying to produce a tornado, although we've gotten no confirmation yet, whether it be from spotters in the field or through radar, that a tornado has actually touched down. But I can tell you, I can see on radar very tight circulation now, very strong circulation to the northeast of Taborville. That's one of 2. Looks like the circulation to the east-southeast of Taborville has weakened some, but the one to the northeast of Taborville has intensified some. Going to a different view, just wanted to see, so the circulation that I'm watching northeast of Taborville, it's very close to BB Highway. It looks like that circulation is east of H Highway, located northeast of Taborville, maybe a couple of miles. Along BB Highway, tracking northeast. So, and that still falls within the tornado warning. I mean, so it looks like we've got a couple of different circulations here on the southwest side of this tornado warning polygon. One to the northeast of Taborville, another one to the southeast. These 2 circulations tracking northeast at 25 miles per hour. So some communities that are kind of downwind from that. We've got. So the circulation that's located northeast of Taborville, we've got, looks like Johnson City, looks like Iuka Springs would be another community that might be kind of in the path of that circulation as it tracks northeast. And then the more southern circulation north of Pape, Monegal Springs and Chalk Level, those would be a couple of communities that might roughly be in the path of that circulation. So this storm, and we'll go back to our radar view because it really has kind of improved in overall look. I mean, you can see very clearly, you can see that hook shape. And right here in that notch, so here's that hook. And right here, this is the inflow into the storm itself. This is where we've seen a tightening of that circulation. So we had a circulation here, and it looks like this one may be taking over just to the northeast of Taborville, right there in that notch. So this looks to me to be a supercell thunderstorm, and it looks like it is trying to produce a tornado, although we've got no confirmation at this point of anything actually on the ground or having been on the ground with this particular storm. Let's go ahead and track that too, because it's been a little while since we've done that, but that circulation will track roughly in this fashion, and that will put it into areas of northern St. Clair County in about 25 to 30 minutes. So if the more northerly circulation does indeed take over, then it looks like that would tend to track to the west of Lowry City and more across northwestern St. Clair County. The circulation definitely appears that in this particular thunderstorm, like it will stay west and northwest of Osceola, and it now looks like if that is the one that takes over, that it will stay to the west and northwest of Lowry City. But again, still on radar, still seeing evidence of, it looks like 2 different circulations, one to the northeast of Taborville and another one to the east-southeast of Taborville. Both of them tracking northeast at 25 miles per hour. Again, going back to our velocity view here, just so we can see what it looks like here as we take a look at the scan, and we'll zoom in on it. So this is what we've got. And you can see, I'll point it out for you. There's a circulation. And then it looks like there may be another circulation here to the northeast of Taborville. I'm not sure which is going to be the one that is the one that's going to take over. This one weakened a little bit. The more northerly circulation looked like it was intensifying some. Now in a more recent scan, it looks like this is the one that may be a bit stronger here to the east-southeast of Taborville. But the bottom line is we've still got the possibility of a tornado here across southwestern and western St. Clair County. This tornado warned storm is tracking northeast at 25 miles per hour. So especially areas now north of Tiffin and to the west and southwest of Lowry City, you guys are under the gun for the possibility of a tornado as this storm tracks through. Taking that information off, and Matt, you're probably watching camera view, see if we've got anything showing up there.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on our chasers out in the field. We can really quickly pull up. Let's go to the shot in Monette if we can, Director. Every once in a while you're seeing flashes of lightning. This is actually the storm tracker closer into Barry County, and you get those flashes of lightning, and rain has just been pouring down. I know, Jamie, we have been very busy, and you haven't really been able to kind of look at these rain totals, but Barry County has just gotten these thunderstorms that have rolled in, and radar's already estimating about 2 inches of rain that has been dumped into that area. So we have to be concerned about tornadoes. We have to be concerned about hail. You have to be concerned about those flashes of lightning. Flooding is another concern that we need to be paying attention to. We said going into this event, all modes of severe weather are on the table. We mean it. So it's not only the tornado threat, it's the fast winds, the hail, and of course flooding that's really starting to pull in. Rain is very intense in these areas where you get those powerful thunderstorms. And
just getting a new scan in on that particular storm that we're watching in St. Clair County. It's a little messy. This scan looks a little bit messy, but it looks like that circulation is now located a little west of Taborville. It hasn't consolidated. It looks like we've still got two distinct circulation centers. One is to the northeast of Taborville, and then we've got another one here to the east of Taborville. This has been the primary circulation really all along. And this may be the one that may be of most concern. But again, I don't want to forget what's going on up here to the northeast of Taborville. So it looks like we just got an update on the tornado warning, probably trimming out areas to the southwest. But if you're watching from Taborville or Tiffin, it looks like the tornado threat with this particular thunderstorm is now to your northeast. But it still continues to approach areas like Chalk Level, Lowry City from the southwest. And it will continue in this fashion. It looks like in roughly 30 minutes, we'll put it at maybe 35 minutes, it will be very close to the Lowry City area. It should be in around Chalk Level in about 20 minutes, or roughly 6:49 this evening. And then again in the Lowry City area in probably about 35 minutes, or roughly a little after 7 o'clock this evening. This whole area here in western St. Clair County, from Taborville and Tiffin up to the county line, this whole area is tornado warned. So again, that risk is there, and it looks like, again, with multiple circulations that we're looking at, that makes sense to kind of be very mindful. It doesn't matter if you're on the eastern side of this warning or on the western side of this warning. You've got, looks like, a couple of different circulations to your southwest. So if you live in the tornado warned area, please take precautions for the possibility of a tornado moving through over the next half an hour to 45 minutes. Getting back to, let's go ahead and we're going to swap this out with a broader view of what's going on with radar and warnings right now. So take that information off and kind of broadening out that view. Matt was mentioning the flood warnings, the flash flood warnings that are now in effect for parts of southeast Kansas into the Nevada area, or at least south of Nevada. This is what our line looks like right now. And you can see it's still kind of a broken line. But here over the last, and this is an hour-long radar loop, you can see how it kind of has this kind of funky look to it, this S shape. Really, that's because we've had these clusters of thunderstorms, and now they're starting to merge into more of a singular line of thunderstorms. We've got two tornado warned storms here on the northern end of this, one near Nevada, another tornado warned storm to the southwest of Lowry City here in western St. Clair County. Looking further south, this portion of the line capable of producing maybe some damaging straight line winds. We've gotten reports of wind damage. We've gotten reports of wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. And as you look further to the southwest, I mean, this is upstream of us. We've got a couple of confirmed tornadoes, tornado-warned storms here in eastern Oklahoma. One to the southeast of Tulsa, another one here south of I-40 to the southwest of the Fort Smith area. That one in particular, southwest of Fort Smith, looks pretty mean. So all of that will continue to track northeast into our area this evening. So even areas further east, here's Highway 65, east of Highway 65, you're not under a tornado watch at this time. This is what the watches look like, by the way. Not under a tornado watch at this time. I think that severe weather risk is certainly going to be there. And it looks like maybe there is an eastward extension. Matt, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. It looks like they did kind of add on some counties east of Highway 65 across more of south central Missouri. My expectation is for more and more of our eastern counties to get put under a watch, probably a tornado watch, as this line of severe storms continues to push in from the southwest. Going back to our tornado-warned storm in southwestern St. Clair County, it continues to look pretty intense. The circulation, at least. We don't have anything confirmed, but the circulation itself looks pretty intense. Hopefully my radar will zoom in. It doesn't seem to want to do that. So we'll do it this way. We'll force it. And kind of zooming in, you can see that circulation still showing up to the northwest of Roscoe and to the southwest or west-southwest of Osceola. Still showing up on radar. I still don't see anything in terms of a debris signature, but the rotation, that signature is still fairly strong within the thunderstorm, and that continues to track off toward the northeast. This is a storm that's, it's kind of, there's been some ebb and flow to it in terms of the strength of the circulation within it, but it's consistently been there since Vernon County. And now that it's made its way into southwestern St. Clair County, it's still showing up. Again, that circulation northwest of Roscoe. Looking at different radar view here, what I want to do is hopefully I can see what sort of streets we got in the vicinity of where that strong circulation is. And that will hopefully help folks, in that area know what we're talking about. But it looks like it is located, that circulation is still located to the south of B Highway and kind of centered very close to maybe a little north of the Osage River. Hopefully I can get another highway to kind of pop in for me. Looks like this is a county road, SW 100 is just to the northeast of that, very close actually now to the circulation. I just got a new scan and it looks like it's very close to that circulation. The circulation now also just to the west-southwest of Monegaw Springs. So if you live in the vicinity of Monegaw Springs, again, a possible tornado moving very close to your community, that circulation right now looks to be still south of B Highway, approaching YY, though, from the southwest. So YY Highway, and I'll go ahead and zoom in on this. Hopefully that'll show. So here's Monegaw Springs. And as we zoom in a bit more, you can see B Highway and then E Highway off to the east. So that circulation, so here's E Highway, B Highway. The circulation is centered right about in this vicinity. This is an old scan that I've got on this on-air radar view, but that circulation appears to be located right about in here, just to the west-southwest of Monegaw Springs, still south of B Highway and to the west of E Highway, approaching though YY from the southwest. It looks like it's still maybe just a hair to the southwest of YY, but it will be moving through that area here, I would guess momentarily over the next few minutes. Looking at, let's see, I'll go back to a different radar view, see if we've got anything. I still don't see a debris signature, but in terms of the overall circulation, I mean, it's still tightening up. So, I mean, this storm may be trying to produce a tornado at this moment. And just got a new scan in there, and you can see again that circulation now is located pretty close to Monegaw Springs. It's located, seems to be centered right about in there, tracking to the northeast. So if you live in and around Chalk Level, south of Chalk Level, it looks like it's going to be moving through your neck of the woods over the next 15 minutes. We'll broaden that out. Let's go ahead and track that again. and it looks like it will be making its way roughly in this fashion. Monegal Springs here shortly, it'll be in that vicinity. Chalk level, I would say in about, let's put it at about 10 to 15 minutes. And it looks like it will approach Lowry City in about 25 minutes. So if you live in and around Lowry City, you may have a tornado in your vicinity a little after 7 o'clock this evening based on where things stand right now. I mean, this storm is tracking in this fashion. Still not seeing any evidence from spotters in the field or on radar itself that we've got anything that's touched down, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't be trying to do that at this time. So if you live across northern St. Clair County, particularly between, say, Tiffin and Lowry City, you're still under the gun. There's still that possibility of a tornado, and please take precautions, get into your tornado safe space, and allow for this storm to pass through your area before you kind of get back out. Kind of broadening things back out, we still have a tornado warned storm back in Vernon County. Looks like it has weakened some. That circulation is located to the northeast of Milo. Really, I think the main storm right now in our area, at least at this moment, is what's moving across St. Clair County. That circulation looks like it's passing just to the northwest of Roscoe. I would put it at maybe about 7 miles or so to the northwest of Roscoe. I think I've got that right. Yeah, I would say probably about 5 to 7 miles to the northwest of Roscoe, tracking toward the northeast. As far as highways in the vicinity, again, the best I can give you is it looks like it is very close to YY right now. Looks like that circulation also very close to Monegal Springs, tracking across YY. And it looks like it'll be moving very close to the intersection of B Highway and E Highway in the next, I would say, under 5 minutes. Again, it looks like that circulation is very close to Monegal Springs at this time, crossing YY. Another highway in the vicinity, or at least county road, NW 50, pretty close to where that circulation is to the west of Monegal Springs. There's a school showing up just to the southeast or southeast of that circulation, Monegal School. And again, northwest from there runs YY up to B Highway. And it's really in the vicinity of YY that circulation is at this time. So if you live anywhere around Monegal Springs, north up toward B Highway, along and west of E Highway, I mean, right now is the most dangerous time for you guys. Looks like that circulation is crossing that area right now. And then from there, it still looks like it's on approach to maybe impact areas like Chalk Level and then eventually Lowry City. As we've been tracking this particular thunderstorm, and I'll clear this information out, just looking at it over the last hour, it gets a little bit messy there, but just looking at it over the last hour, you can clearly see where the circulation is. Notice there it is, tracking north and west of El Dorado Springs, now into St. Clair County. So over the last hour, it's made its way from about Highway 54 now into west central areas of St. Clair County. The circulation itself, there's been some fluctuation. Looked like at one time maybe we had a couple of different circulation centers. Looks like that more easterly circulation center is the primary center, and that is very close to Monegal Springs to the west of Osceola. It looks like we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for areas downstream for Benton County and Hickory County. This includes Warsaw and Hermitage. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for that area.
And Jamie, to add on top of that, just right before that severe thunderstorm warning was issued, Greene County in a severe thunderstorm warning, about half of Polk County in a severe thunderstorm warning. Those do not include a tornado possible tag. I think especially in Springfield, things aren't looking as intimidating. That's definitely worth mentioning at this time, and I can actually pull up kind of our Springfield tower cam, and I imagine we're starting to see some rain at this time in Springfield. Yep, there we go. Not seeing anything tornadic in Springfield. I want to establish that. I know a lot of people intimidated going in today with kind of the aggressive wording. Not seeing anything tornadic at the time in Springfield. It's really areas further up into the north that we're seeing that rotation, but Springfield finding themselves under a severe thunderstorm warning right now.
And still, it looks like maybe an adjustment on that tornado warning. This, just kind of looking at things, I'm trying to see. Matt, we've got kind of overlapping tornado warnings.
Yes.
And so I think that there's been an adjustment to, and that's to account for this more easterly circulation it looks like it's kind of deviating a little bit off of the original track. So the Weather Service has gone ahead and put a little bit more of St. Clair County under this tornado warning. So from Roscoe, again, earlier, Roscoe was not under a tornado warning, Osceola not under a tornado warning. Well, now there is a new tornado warning that does extend as far east as Osceola and Roscoe, and it still includes areas like Lowry City. So there's our circulation, and it continues to track roughly along this fashion, still approaching Lowry City. It looks like the circulation, it looks like it will pass to the north of Roscoe. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but areas around Osceola and west of Osceola, just based on where the circulation is and a little bit more of a jog to the right, you're now under the risk of a tornado. That tornado warning has been extended a bit further to the east to account for that jog to the right or to the east in the last few scans on radar. So we're still tracking, again, a dangerous situation where we may have a tornado trying to develop in St. Clair County. Just looking at the wind fields, very strong wind fields inbound and outbound. We've got that couplet associated with the potential of a developing tornado, and it has remained rather strong over consecutive scans on radar. So there's no sign that this circulation has weakened. There's no sign that we can let our guard down at this point, just given what we're seeing on radar. And we've still got, again, that tornado risk across St. Clair County for areas west of Osceola especially, and that will track up toward the Lowry City area. So this is going to be a close call for folks, I think, in and around Lowry City and along Highway 13, north or south of Lowry City, based on this potentially tornadic thunderstorm, which appears to be tracking roughly in this fashion toward the Lowry City area. In addition to that, we're probably looking at some fairly strong winds impacting areas around Osceola, or at least getting into Osceola here shortly. I would guess around Roscoe we've had some strong winds, and these stronger winds may try to get into areas like Osceola and Vista with a tornado threat probably passing just to the west and northwest of Osceola. Really, at this point, this is the main storm that we're watching. As I broaden out the view, you can see we've got, we're still looking at the wind fields within these thunderstorms. This is the tornado warned storm right here in St. Clair County. Notice you don't really see anything else popping out in terms of a couplet that we can track, but you do see these stronger winds right there approaching Greene County from the west and southwest. Looks like we've got some stronger winds approaching Stone County. So we've got now, as Matt mentioned, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Greene County, and this extends south down Highway 65 across Christian and Taney counties for the possibility of strong straight line winds moving through. I would guess, looking at radar and looking at the history of these storms, certainly the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour winds, possibly greater, are on the table. Don't see anything that looks like it is tornadic, but the possibility of strong straight line winds is certainly there for areas that are currently warned in southwestern Missouri back into northwestern areas of Arkansas. This is a 1 hour radar loop, just kind of going back to our traditional radar view. And we've got this cluster of severe storms, one of which is tornado warned moving through St. Clair County. Looks like this activity here between Nevada and Monette has kind of weakened a bit. And then we've got another cluster of severe storms moving across Berry County, Stone County, now Christian County. And this extends off to the southwest. This is probably going to be an event that goes on a while. As looks like the risk of severe weather, you can see it extends down into eastern Oklahoma, where we've got tornado warned storms, some of which have been confirmed. That's going to be, that portion of the line is tracking roughly like this. So all of the storms are generally moving in a northeasterly direction. So this activity here in northeast Oklahoma very likely will pose a severe weather threat into northwest Arkansas. This would include areas like Berryville and Harrison and Jasper. And then looks like those storms too could then follow suit across north central Arkansas and south central Missouri. So what we're looking at is more of a big line of thunderstorms taking shape as these clusters kind of merge, and that risk of severe weather that will come with that line of severe thunderstorms. This is the last hour, and you can see how these storms continue to push into southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas. As far as instability, there's still plenty of it. Areas to the east of this line, there is ample instability, and that's what we're looking at right here. Here's our legend right there. We're still looking at high levels of instability present across southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. So the gasoline is still there to keep these storms going that are now in southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas. As these storms continue to progress east this evening, I don't expect those thunderstorms to weaken. So that risk for severe weather is still on the table for areas from Rolla south through Salem, Missouri, down into Salem, Arkansas. Again, continue to be weather aware here in our eastern counties. Right now, the threat is now in western Missouri and northwest Arkansas, where that line currently is moving through. And getting back to our radar view, it's kind of a messy mode now. We don't have a lot of individual thunderstorms, more like clusters and lines. With that, it gets a little bit harder to track all of this. But we do have this particular thunderstorm here in St. Clair County that still appears to be very well organized. Going back to our velocity data, let's see what that looks like here in our latest scan. And we're still seeing evidence of a circulation there. In fact, it looks like that has tightened up. I'm just kind of looking at different radar views. This is the area of interest right here, west of Osceola. That circulation is really tightened up. I got a different radar source off air, and really showing a very tight, strong circulation. We've got very strong gate-to-gate shear, which is one of the measurements that we use to determine whether or not a tornado warning should be issued. Looks like we've got had very strong gate-to-gate shear. Just getting a new scan in, and it looks like that's possibly weakened some. But again, this storm itself appears to still be trying to produce. Matt's been watching weather chat. He's watching pictures that are coming in. I've seen one that at one point, this would have been over an hour ago probably, that showed a base lowering. It looked like maybe the storm was trying to organize. That's what this storm has been doing really over the last hour. It's been trying to produce a tornado. We just haven't seen anything to confirm it just yet. The circulation is still to the southwest of Lowry City. If you live in and around Lowry City, you've still got some time to prepare, but this tornado warned storm is going to be in your area here shortly. Looks like the Weather Service does continue to trim up the western edge of that warning. So in Monegaw Springs, I think the tornado threat has ended for your area. But it does remain for areas around Chalk Level, northeast up toward Lowry City. And with that circulation located roughly about in there, tracking northeast at 25 miles per hour, it looks like in about 20 minutes, so maybe about 7:05 to 7:10, I think we're going to have that circulation moving through the Lowry City area. So the possibility of a tornado is there for folks in and around Lowry City between about 7:05 and 7:10 this evening. For folks in and around Chalk Level, which is probably the next community downwind from where it is right now, looks like I would say under 10 minutes definitely. Probably around 5 minutes, it looks like that circulation is going to be moving through the Chalk Level area.
Jamie, let me give you an update. The severe thunderstorm warning that's in Greene County, the National Weather Service is going to bump up the wind speeds on that. They previously had it at 60. They're looking at a line of potentially damaging straight line winds about to move into Greene County, and they're going to bump that warning up to 70-mile-per-hour winds. So you can kind of see that leading edge of winds closer to the Republic area right now. That's going to move into Greene County, and I think really that burst of fast winds I'm seeing right now would be the south side of Springfield. This continues to stay intact. So not seeing anything tornadic in Springfield, but more straight line winds could be up to 70 miles per hour. We're really going to feel things pick up into the metro area very soon.
Matt, while you've been you've been watching Weather Chat, have they said has there been any mention about possible circulation to the southeast of Tiffin?
So that's the one that we've had that chaser on, and he has been trying to really track this area. He mentions blinding rainfall. He is trying to chase this. He's trying to get eyes on it, and he really can't see too far in front of it. It just makes sense with how slow these thunderstorms are moving. We also, that same area is under a flash flood warning right now where it's just pouring down rain. No mention right now on kind of their plans with what they want to do in that area, if they're going to extend that tornado warning into Benton County or not. But the chaser in that area has been struggling to stay on the system just because of how intense these rains have been.
And that was one of the things that they mentioned earlier, was they were talking about how souped up the atmosphere was, not just with instability, but just with moisture. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. And these thunderstorms, they tap into that. They produce rainfall, and the moisture that's in the atmosphere goes into the rainfall and the rainfall rates. And so we're finding some very, very heavy rainfall rates. Matt, while we're looking at radar over here, go ahead, if you would, pull up rainfall rates so we can show viewers what we're looking at, because these rainfall rates are on the order of inches per hour. So if these thunderstorms persisted for very long in any one location, literally a few inches of rainfall could fall in 30 to 45 minutes. And it's that kind of rain that could lead to flash flooding concerns. Looking at velocity data right now, and Matt, you just let me know when you got that ready, but looking at velocity data right now, Lowry City, this is the tornado warned storm. So this is the circulation that we've been tracking, and it's kind of broadened back out again. This is Osceola. Northwest of Osceola is where that circulation is.
Whenever you want it, Jamie, I got it ready.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at these rainfall rates, just to kind of give you a highlight of that. And so you see the legend up there at the upper right part of your screen. So some of these rainfall rates that we're finding in southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas are approaching 2 to 3, maybe 3+ inches per hour. And again, if that persisted for very long, that's absolutely going to produce some flash flooding concerns. Hopefully these storms, though, won't persist for too long in any one location, so that while we may get some localized flash flooding or maybe some street flooding, we don't get any widespread flash flooding. But that is a possibility. This is one of those events where we could have flash flooding over a broader area. And we already have a flash flood warning for parts of Vernon County for areas southwest of Nevada because of waves of storms that have already impacted those areas. And Matt right there was looking at some of the radar rainfall estimates based on our radar source. So if we want to go back to that, Matt's going to highlight some of the pockets of rainfall that we've already seen.
Berry County, 2, maybe 3 inches of rainfall already, and they just had one thunderstorm that went through, expecting another thunderstorm to go into Berry County, so they can easily get to 3-4 inches of rain, especially if these rainfall rates stay as aggressive. This is where we're seeing the flooding, the same area where we're seeing that tornado over in Nevada. Our rainfall radar is estimating about 4, maybe 5 inches in some places into Vernon County. So very intense rains, very fast winds, still getting about quarter-sized hail, and we also have to watch out for tornado potential. Right now it's just that one tornado warning that's over into St. Clair County, and then there's a confirmed tornado spilling out of Oklahoma, about to move into northern Arkansas, that we also have to keep eyes on.
Yeah, and you mentioned St. Clair County. I mean, we're still watching the circulation. It's very close to Osceola. It looks like it's roughly between Lowry City and Osceola. I would put it, let's see here. It looks like it might be about, let's see here. Hopefully I can get this to work for me. We got a lot of different things going on at the same time, different views that we're looking at. It looks like a few miles at the very least south of Lowry City. I can use this to do the same thing, but that circulation appears to be about, I'd say maybe 2-3 miles to the southwest of Lowry City. That's going to put it probably very close to Lowry City. You know, we've been saying maybe 705, 710. Looks like it'll be very close to Lowry City over the next 5 minutes or so, just kind of based on what it looks like on radar right now. So this storm may be moving a little bit faster than what the warning was indicating. Outside of that, still looking at another area of interest.
Jamie, I want to make sure you're aware of kind of the fast winds that's about to move into the Springfield area. So the National Weather Service are saying Springfield can get about 60, 70 miles per hour winds. That area of faster winds I'm seeing is closer to Republic, closer to Willard right now. That's another area that we have to monitor that's going to start to push in soon.
And Matt, you know, I know you're watching Weather Chat. I'm not sure what to make of. There's a couplet showing up on radar southwest of Roscoe. And it's whether or not it's how real that is. This could be just sort of mess on radar.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, and
I see what you're seeing right now, where you start to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
And it looks like it's just kind of in a weird spot. So right now, I think I'm just going to continue to focus my attention on the Lowry City, the circulation that's very close now to Lowry City. It looks like that circulation is just to the south-southwest. It's still south of town, but to the south-southwest of Lowry City, approaching Highway 13. And that circulation looks like it will be moving through Lowry City over the next 5 minutes. So I would guess, too, also in Lowry City, probably getting heavy rainfall right now, lightning. The winds are picking up. The circulation that we've been tracking looks like it's starting to move into town now. I'll kind of shift our view back to this is what I'm looking at. Looks like that circulation is again currently located right about here to the south-southwest of Lowry City, and should be moving through Lowry City and over the next 5 minutes, crossing Highway 13. From there, it looks like it'll be in northeasternmost St. Clair County, and again, it's still showing up on radar. The storm itself, it kind of looks like it's starting to transition. It's more of a cluster of severe thunderstorms, but we are still seeing evidence of a circulation just to the south-southwest of Lowry City that we're tracking. And the warning does remain in effect. In fact, that warning is in effect through, I believe here, just trying to find that information here. That warning should go through 7:15 this evening. So we've got another 17 minutes on that warning in northeastern St. Clair County. The circulation itself, though, looks like it's just a little south-southwest of Lowry City. Outside of that, again, now that the storms are starting to move into the Springfield area, you mentioned, Matt, some stronger winds coming into Springfield from the southwest. This is what it looks like on radar. This is that surge of winds approaching Republic, approaching Halltown right there. You can see the blues showing up. So our radar site located here at the airport, this is pretty close to the surface. These appear to be 50 to 60 mile per hour winds just off the surface, and that wind energy is likely making its way down to the ground. So areas here in western Greene County very likely getting some strong winds and possibly even some damaging winds right now. This is approaching, again, the Bodark area. Looks like Halltown, Brookline, and it looks like these stronger winds may get into Willard. The stronger winds should be moving across the airport over the next 10 minutes or so. And looks like some of this, based on what we see right here, some of that's probably going to clip at least the northwest and north side of Springfield. Again,
Can we take Max 2 real quick? We got a shot of kind of downtown Springfield, and you're starting to see kind of that leading edge of thunderstorms moving in. Every once in a while, those flashes of lightning. And yeah, we're concerned not about anything tornadic, Jamie. It's mostly fast winds moving into Springfield. And
I'm sure folks in Springfield are very sensitive to that, given what we had at the end of April with that wave of damaging, very strong winds which impacted western Greene County. At this point, it does not look like this is going to produce that level of wind and wind damage, but we're probably still going to find at least a few trees that may get downed as a result of these stronger winds moving into western Greene County. And it's certainly a situation where you want to be indoors. You don't want to be outdoors because you could have a limb get blown down, and if you're standing out in your yard, that would be a bad deal. So we've got strong winds moving into western Greene County right now. Strong winds also moving across really through a lot of southwestern Greene County or southwestern Missouri. You can see that line of wind energy kind of extends down to the south. Stronger winds moving into western Stone County, and then that extends down into northwestern Arkansas. Earlier Matt was mentioning tornado-warned storms coming out of Oklahoma. Looks like we're now seeing some of that spill into areas just west of Fayetteville. So that tornado risk, again, spilling into northwest Arkansas, and those storms are tracking, looks like northeast or maybe a little north of east, and that's going to push across northwest Arkansas over the coming few hours. So Carroll County, areas down toward Jasper, Boone County, be mindful, you've got severe weather just to your west-southwest, and some of that activity is tornado-warned, and that will be moving in over the next few hours. And it looks very likely that those storms will maintain their intensity. Maybe not maintain that tornado risk, but it looks like we're still going to find the threat of severe thunderstorms moving across northwest Arkansas over the next couple of hours. if we can, we've got, let's see, Matt, where do we have some of our different folks? Lex is down in the Monette area still?
Yeah, you can see on the monitors over there in the middle, Lex is driving towards Aurora, and then on the far shot is Cassville. So whichever one you want, Jamie, you can call that up and we can go to it.
So Cassville, we've already had a line of storms move through the Cassville area. We can take that shot, see what that looks like. Clearly, I mean, it's stormy skies. Looks like rain has already moved through the Cassville area. And the risk of severe weather is kind of pushed off to the east of Cassville for the time being, but there's still some heavy rain and thunder and lightning to the west of Cassville, back into McDonald County, that'll spread across the Cassville area. So that's just sort of a slice of what's going on right now in southwest Missouri. Matt, go ahead and let's pull up the downtown camera. Let's pull up the tower cam after that and take a look and see what that looks like.
Let me get the tower cam for you first. I got that right here.
And while Matt's getting that set up, let's go back to our
tower
radar.
Cam's looking pretty impressive.
Okay, let's go to the tower cam view. So what we're looking at right there, so our TV, the downtown airport, you can see looking west, you can see Hammond's Tower off in the distance, and you can see that dark band of clouds and flashes of lightning right there. That is the gust front that is spreading in from the west with that line of severe thunderstorms that's moving through western Greene County. As that dark band of clouds moves over your location, you'll probably notice the wind speeds ramping up some, and that possibility of maybe gusts of 60 to possibly more than 60 miles per hour, it's there. That's what we're finding right now over western Greene County, and that appears to be what will be moving into the Springfield area. I do want to get back to our tornado-warned storm up in northern St. Clair County. That storm continues to gradually make its way up toward the county line. The circulation still appears, and it's a little bit messy, but it still looks like we've got a circulation very close to Lowry City. So I'll zoom in a little bit further. Hopefully Lowry City will pop in. And let's go ahead, we're going to change over to our wind data. Let's see what that looks like. And right now you can kind of see that broad circulation, and then as we zoom in a bit, you see what appears to be a bit more of a tightening there. And this is, I've got a more updated scan that I can see on a different radar view, but it looks like the circulation is located roughly right about in here, very close to Highway 13, I think just to the north of Lowry City. And it looks like it may be moving across C Highway. Just to the northeast of Lowry City, maybe just east of Highway 13. That's what I'm seeing on a different radar view right now, pretty close to where that circulation appears to be at this time. That would put it, let's see if I can get some, again, it looks like it may be northeast of Lowry City. That would put it very close to C Highway, east of Highway 13. That circulation probably pretty close to NN Highway. These are all roads just to the northeast of Lowry City that run across northeastern St. Clair County. Looks like the circulation will stay to the east of Chloe, but areas up towards, say, Mount Zion, Nanesca Park, Browns Ford, these are communities that are going to be in the vicinity of the path that this circulation is going to take. And that's something we haven't done in a little while, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's track this out. Again, that circulation appears to be very close to C Highway right now, C Highway and NN Highway, and that will track through, looks like this vicinity over the next 30 minutes. So it's still moving northeast. It looks like probably a little bit more than 25 miles per hour, just based on how much ground it's covered over the time that we've been talking about this storm. But it looks like it will be making its way across the rest of northeastern St. Clair County over the next 10 minutes or so, and then cross over into Henry County. So residents up towards southeastern Henry County, looks like in about, I would say 10 to maybe, let's say 5 to 15 minutes, we're going to find that circulation crossing over into southeastern Henry County over the next 5 to 15 minutes. It looks like the circulation now is located to the northeast of Lowry City, continuing to track toward the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. Throughout the history of this circulation, we've seen that circulation kind of tighten up weekend, and we've not seen anything on radar to say that anything has touched down. Matt, What you got for us?
If we can get over to the 3x3, I got an image of some of the flooding. This is taken just off of I-49, about 1 mile near Nevada. You can see a car just absolutely submerged. There's a whole lot of rain that's being dumped in this area. Our kind of radar has been estimated about 4 to 5 inches. That's where we're seeing flash flood warnings in place, and this is why. A whole lot of rain, and we still have concerns about the fast winds, and we still have concerns about the tornadoes. I wanted to show this off, Jamie, because flooding is a threat that we have to be taking seriously. Statistically, more people die due to flooding than the tornado threat, and this is just an incredible footage that we got from the Nevada area. I want to make sure we got that shown off to our viewers, but don't want to lose sight of that tornado warning that's still going on into St. Clair County. Yeah,
and some of the rainfall amounts, we can look at that. I mean, I can show you what radar is estimating right now. And as far as rainfall is concerned, I mean, literally a few inches of rain have fallen in places where these storms have been training. When we say training, what we mean by that is that the storms are moving over the same locations over and over and over again. Let's clear that information off. And you can see that there are pockets in here. Our legend right here, there are pockets where radar is estimating from parts of Vernon County into St. Clair County. There are pockets where radar is estimating upwards of 4 to maybe more than 5 inches of rain. So this is why flash flood warnings, new flash flood warnings are in effect for northern Vernon County up toward the Butler area, east over toward Clinton, south down into St. Clair County. So here in northwestern St. Clair County, radar estimating upwards of maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain has fallen. And that's in a short period of time. So these thunderstorms are tapping into all that moisture in the atmosphere, and they're kind of squeezing it out very efficiently, and it's producing inches of rainfall in a short period of time and the risk of flash flooding. Looks like we continue to trim up the warning here in northeastern St. Clair County. The tornado threat, by the way, has ended in areas like Osceola. It looks now like it is located, the tornado threat, it looks like it is now located just northeast of Lowry City. It looks like it's east of Highway 13, the circulation east of Highway 13 and north of C Highway and maybe to the west of NN. That would put it southeast of Chloe and to the northeast of Lowry City, still moving to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So again, highways in the vicinity of this circulation, east of Highway 13, north of C Highway, and west of NN is approximately, if we had to try to kind of box in where that circulation is, it's approximately where that circulation is right now. It looks like it is northeast of Lowry City. So I think the tornado threat appears to be now moving northeast away from the Lowry City area. But it does remain across northeastern St. Clair County up toward, it looks like areas like Neneska Park, Mount Zion, up in Henry County, northwest and west of Browns Ford. These are all areas that are still in the tornado warning, and that risk for tornado is still there. We still see a strong couplet showing up on radar to the northeast of Lowry City.
Can we go to either Max 2 or the Springfield Tower Cam, because it is coming down in Springfield pretty well right now. I want to be able to show that off to the viewers. This is what we're talking about. We're warning people very intense rainfall rates, or I think here in Springfield, probably what, I would estimate about 2 inches per hour is what the rain is kind of averaging right now. It is just pouring down. We're getting those really loud rumbles of thunder into this area. Not seeing anything tornadic in Springfield, I want to stress that, but definitely fast winds that we have to watch out for. This is probably the most intense that we've seen in Springfield for tonight, and then let's hope it stays that way, because if this is all that it is, it's not going to be anything too bad. We will get through this system, but it is coming down in Springfield very hard.
And Matt, you mentioned too, I mean, the rainfall rates, even if we don't get widespread flash flooding in Springfield, the rainfall rates are probably going to be sufficient to generate street flooding, ponding of water on the roadways. And that can be very dangerous, especially if you're going too fast. You hit maybe a big area where the water is ponded, maybe in a dip in the road, and your vehicle at that point maybe get out of control. So even though maybe not flash flooding moving through the Springfield area, very heavy rainfall rates, very low visibilities, and a good reason to stay indoors and wait for this rain to taper off before you venture back out. Looking at radar right now, you can see still this strong circulation Here's Chloe, here's Highway 13 running south down toward Lowry City. That circulation located right about in there. That's what we've been tracking for about the last, I would say the last hour or so, a little more than an hour, as it made its way out of Vernon County, now St. Clair County. It looks like a new tornado warning has just been issued for southeastern Henry County. So they're going to continue this warning because, again, the circulation really, while there's been some ebb and flow to it, it's still there. It's been very persistent. So far, we have not seen any touchdowns that we know of. Haven't seen anything on radar that would suggest that something is touched down, and we haven't had any spotter reports of damage or of a sighting of a tornado or a funnel cloud, but that risk is still present, and it looks like this storm, at the very least, is still trying to produce, and so that danger for a tornado is still there as it moves away now from Lowry City, moves east of Chloe, and it looks like it's going to be making its way into southeastern Henry County here shortly. Again, that circulation right now looks to be roughly between Highway 13 and NN Highway and north of C Highway. I'll try to zoom in on that, and maybe I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about. Sometimes that helps a little bit. There's C Highway, and just right there, you can kind of see it. Looks like NN Highway is located right about, get my bearings, over here. So this is the area where it looks like that circulation is located. So Lowry City just to the southwest. The circulation has already moved through the Lowry City area. It's now east of Highway 13 to the west of NN and to the north of C Highway. So if you live in that area, in the vicinity of that area, please remain in your tornado safe space. It looks like the circulation is going to be crossing NE 1000 Road, and then from there it looks like it would track up toward NN Highway. Again, it's still located between Highway 13 and NN Highway. It's still a little bit to the south of the county line. That county line located about maybe 2 to 3 miles to the northeast or north of where that circulation is located right now. That's really, as far as the tornado risk, that's the main area. We are tracking tornado-warned storms that are coming out of eastern Oklahoma into northwestern Arkansas. It looks like we've still got a risk of tornado-warned storms there moving into the Fayetteville area right now. In fact, it looks like a new tornado warning has been issued for the Fayetteville area. And we've got this one storm here in northeastern St. Clair County that's still tornado warned, tracking northeast at about 25 miles per hour. Going back to, let's show you this view, and you can see again this line of severe thunderstorms that's really taking shape. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the last 3 hours and kind of loop that data. And you can see over the last 3 hours, kind of taking you back all the way to, let's say, 4:14. You can see over the last 3 hours how this line it kind of developed here in eastern Kansas, eastern Oklahoma. Initially it was like individual thunderstorms, then it was clusters of thunderstorms, and now we've got more of a line of thunderstorms here across western Missouri, into northwest Arkansas, back into eastern Oklahoma. And this portion right here especially, it looks like it's starting to surge northeast. So we may be looking at a sign that damaging winds could become more of a possibility here in northwest Arkansas with that surge in the line headed toward northwest Arkansas. North of the state line, it's a line, but it looks like we've still got clusters of thunderstorms sort of embedded within this overall line that's moving through western Missouri. The risk of damaging winds still continues for the Springfield area as that line pushes through. Again, the risk of a tornado still in northeastern St. Clair County, but it looks like areas further east, which have still been enjoying a very quiet day and now evening, well, that threat for thunderstorms is starting to creep in. In fact, it looks like we've got some new development here to the east of Highway 65 near Highway 63, and we'll have to watch these more individual thunderstorms. They're not severe right now, but because they're out on their own, out ahead of this line, we may see them rapidly intensify and become severe. And you can see we've got that one cell that is located south of Phelps County. It looks like it's maybe pushing up toward the Edgar Springs area. So let's take a look at that. That thunderstorm looks like maybe a pair of thunderstorms moving out of Texas County into southern Phelps County into western Dent County. We'll watch these. Looks like another batch of thunderstorms developing now in eastern Douglas County. Most of the severe weather threat, though, is tied with this activity further west along Highway 65. Tornado warning, looks like for the St. Clair tornado warning, we've reached 7:15, so that warning has been It's been lifted just because it's expired, but the tornado threat does continue here in northeastern, or I should say southeastern Henry County, where that circulation is moving through. I'm going to go ahead. We'll stay on the air, Matt, I think, because that circulation is going to make its way toward Benton County.
I imagine the National Weather Service is going to extend that into Benton County. This is getting a little bit tricky because Henry County falls under Kansas City's jurisdiction, and then Benton County falls back under Springfield's jurisdiction. So it went from Springfield to Kansas City back to Springfield. It is pouring pretty consistently down in Springfield area. If we can go to Chris's live shot, she's driving around, I believe, north side of Springfield. If we can kind of show off what's looking right now, because very intense, and even really when you look on kind of tower cam, you can start to see kind of blinding rains. I believe she's on the north side of Springfield driving around. Looks like not too much ponding in the roadways, which is good right now. If we continue to see this rain persisting in Springfield, I imagine conditions will start to get worse. But right now things are still looking drivable, at least on her portion of the roads. We'll keep monitoring that once we get throughout tonight. But right now we're mostly concerned about that tornado warning in Henry County. The question is this going to get extended into Benton County? Right now, I believe yes, with what we're kind of seeing, and National Weather Service is saying they are working on a tornado warning for Benton County, so that will get extended very shortly. Okay,
and it looks like, Matt, if you want to go ahead, take a look at CC. It looks like we may have a CC drop in southeastern Henry County, to the south of Tightwad. This is in Henry County, southeastern Henry County. It looks like there may be a CC drop. If that's the case, we may have a debris signature showing up now on radar in southeastern
Jamie, I'm seeing that from both the Springfield and the Kansas City radar. I'm seeing that CC drop on both. I'd like to get another scan to fully confirm it, but this is looking like a debris ball.
And if that's the case, then they'll confirm that warning. Hopefully Weather Service, we can get an update from them as to what they think about that. It does appear to be within the field of precipitation, so I don't think we're looking at, erroneous data. I think we may be looking at a CC drop. This is what Matt and I are talking about here. There it is. You can see right here. You can see the sea of red, and then you've got these cooler colors. What that indicates is that radar is sensing objects of different size in that vicinity. Now, if you can also pair that up with the circulation, and I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. That circulation, of course, the scans are maybe at different times, but the circulation that you can see over here, it's actually right about here now, that is co-located with that what appears to be a CC drop. And if that's the case, then we've got the possibility of a confirmed tornado. It looks like we do have a new tornado warning that, as Matt mentioned, they were drawing up a new tornado warning for Benton County. This does include the Warsaw area, so really it runs from Fairfield northeast across Warsaw, and that is a confirmed tornado.
Yep, they agree with us. Radar confirmed. Also with this new tornado warning that's coming out, they have it picking up speed. They have it going 60 miles per hour. So for a lot of St. Clair County, it was 25 to 30. They have this system getting a whole lot faster. So confirmed tornado right now, about to move into Benton County.
And that circulation, now that it looks like we now have a tornado on the ground, debris signature showing up on radar. That tornado is located very close to Z Highway. It's pretty close to the intersection of ZZ and Z Highway in southeastern Henry County. So you can see here in the latest update, they've also updated the tornado warning polygon in southeastern Henry County to reflect we now have a confirmed tornado. This is confirmed by radar, indicating that there is now debris in the air from a tornado that's touched down here in southeastern Henry County. And this radar view, I'm waiting, that's approximately, it looks to be about right. Just kind of looking at different views here. That circulation, where it's tightest, is right about in here. This is just to the north of Neneska Park, to the southeast of Gaines, and it is tracking northeast. So Again, it looks like we now have a tornado on the ground in southeastern Henry County, and that will make its way up toward Benton County. So with that, Matt, how fast did you say that's the tornado is traveling now?
They have it at 60. 60
miles per hour. So so with that kind of forward speed, this is what we're looking at, folks. I mean, this is the amount of ground that that tornado could cover. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be on the ground for that length of time, but especially here in the more shorter time frames, looks like we will probably have a tornado approaching Benton County in about 5 minutes, and then from there it would move into southwestern Benton County in about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you live in and around, say, southwestern Benton County, let's see if I can get some communities to pop up for me. In and around, let's see here, Opportunity Farms up toward Teal Bend, south of Racket. There's Highway 7, Z Highway is in the vicinity of where that now confirmed tornado would be traveling. If that tornado remains on the ground, it looks like it will track into southwestern Benton County. Finney is probably next in line, and then from there, southwestern Benton County, and looks like areas like Teal Bend, Opportunity Farms, between Z Highway and Highway 7, all sort of in the vicinity of where this tornado would be traveling through. Kind of checking back, just got an updated scan there, so I just kind of want to see. I still see evidence of a debris signature. It looks like that tornado is on the county line. I would say that it is absolutely on the county line. Looks like it is very close to southwest of Racket to the west of Teal Bend on the county line. So trying to get some highways in the vicinity of that, or some roads. Let's see. SE 720P, SE 1231 Road, Harley Highway. Let's see if I can get something. Waltz Way. Those are roads that are in the vicinity of where this tornado is occurring. Again, we've still got a tornado on the ground. We can still see evidence of a CC drop or debris signature. I'll clear that information out. We'll go back over to our debris product and let's see what that looks like. You can see it still. I'll zoom in. This is what we're looking at. I mean, this is what's giving us confidence that we've got a tornado on the ground. So Harry S. Truman State Park, just to the east of where this debris signature is showing up. Taking you back a little bit, you can see right there is when it shows up in south. So right as this storm, or right as this tornado was developing, that's probably right around the county line. And then as it made its way into southeastern Henry County, I think we definitely had a tornado on the ground. Debris signature very apparent there near Finney, and now it looks like that debris signature has shifted northeast into western Benton County, and it looks like it's still showing up to the west-northwest of Harry S. Truman State Park. So this is that hole right there that is the debris signature. Looking at velocity data, just seeing what that looks like. Again, it kind of looks a little broad just looking at this, but just based on that debris signature, I mean, it looks like we do have a tornado on the ground, and it looks like, again, it would be located roughly about in here, very close to Highway 7 that runs kind of west to east across Benton County. Now, that would keep the tornado threat to the west and northwest of Warsaw, but areas closer to Tightwad along Highway 7, again, it looks like we may have a tornado on the ground moving across Highway 7 over the next few minutes. So if you live in the vicinity of Highway 7, east of Tightwad, in southwestern Benton County, looks like there may be a tornado on the ground moving through that area right now. So be in your tornado safe space and ride this thing out. Now, from there, it looks like it will track potentially up toward Lincoln. I mean, and it's moving. Matt said in the last update on it, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. So, based on where it is, and again, it looks like it's right on top of Highway 7, right about in there, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Looks like we just got an update on that warning. That would, if it is indeed moving 60 northeast, that's going to put it in the vicinity of Lincoln in about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you live in and around Lincoln, please get into your tornado safe space, get ready. We have a tornado on the ground right now, and it is now crossed Henry County and is now located in southwestern sections of Benton County, and looks like it will move in short order toward your area, toward Lincoln, and it should be there in roughly about 7:36. I do want to check that. Go ahead, Matt.
Jamie, I don't want to lose sight of the tornado that we have in Benton County, but I do really quickly want to mention that winds are about 50, 60 miles per hour in Ozark right now. National Weather Service saying that's an area of concern. You can probably see some power outages happening in that area right now. Those are just straight line winds, fast kind of small area of gusty winds picking up in Ozark that's being highlighted by the National Weather Service. Everything I'm seeing with kind of what's going on in Benton County, that's still on the ground. I'm still seeing the CC drop. I'm still seeing type velocity. This has been persisting for quite some time, Jamie.
Yeah, and going back to we'll loop that. I mean, this line that you see, Matt's talking about strong winds, that's the leading edge of these strong winds right there, tracking across southwestern Missouri. But again, right now, the biggest concern is now a confirmed tornado up here in Benton County. It looks like it is to the west-northwest of Warsaw. I would put that circulation right on top of Highway 7. Looks like it is right on top of Highway 7, maybe just north of Highway 7 now. There still is a debris signature showing up. So I think at least as it was traveling across southeastern Henry County and then crossed over into Benton County, I think along this path we probably have at the very least intermittent tornado damage. And now that it's made its way into southwestern Benton County to the northwest of Warsaw, still seeing that debris signature. Again, it looks like it is located just to the north of Highway 7 to the east of Tightwad. So we're going to get a new scan in here shortly. I'll go ahead and kind of zoom in a little bit. I do already have an updated scan over here. It looks like that circulation is very close to Racket. Looks like it is located right about in here now. So you can see Tightwad to the west, Racket to the south. I think we still may have a tornado on the ground now just north of Highway 7 to the, looks like to the north of Racket, tracking toward the northeast very quickly. I mean, the latest update, the latest warning update still has it moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. So again, when you've got a tornado on the ground and it's moving that fast, it can cover a lot of ground. And I think we probably, again, have probably intermittent tornado damage in southeastern Henry County and now into southwestern Benton County. Looking, and this is kind of impressive, let me swap this out, take that information off. Let's go ahead and go back to our traditional radar view. And you can see it almost looks like the eye of a hurricane. So right there, as that storm tracks across Henry County and then into southwestern Benton County, notice how the circulation, it's located right in here. I mean, it almost looks like, if you were looking at that, it almost looks like it's a hurricane. The circulation is fully embedded. It's fully rain wrapped right now to the east of Tightwad. So it's kind of interesting. This, earlier we were watching this storm. It had more of a hook shape. That's kind of gone by the wayside, and now the circulation is fully rain wrapped. The circulation, the tornado is now fully immersed within this area of rain that has wrapped all the way around it, and that is what's tracking across southwestern Benton County. New update on a different radar source. We'll stop this because I do want to kind of stick with what I've got off air because it's updating a little bit faster. Looks like that circulation is now located, I would put it, and we'll zoom in a little bit more. Let's put it about, just get a little bit tighter there. And you can see Palo Pinto to the north. It looks like that circulation is roughly about in here. You can kind of see that little swirl. This little swirl right there. Looks like the tornado is still located right about in here. So here's Leesville to the west, Tightwad to the southwest, tracking this way. Palo Pinto is just north of where this tornado likely is occurring. Again, it looks like it is fully rain wrapped, and it is tracking toward the northeast in the general direction of Lincoln. So I think we may have a rain wrapped tornado still on the ground. There's still some evidence of a debris signature, although that has weakened some in the last scan. So it may have lifted already, but the tornado threat does remain. I mean, we're still seeing a strong circulation there, and it looks like we've already had one tornado touchdown in southeastern Henry County, and we could see this thing try to touch down again to the west-southwest of Lincoln. That's where the circulation right now is focused.
Jamie, I do want to mention that in northern Arkansas, there's a new tornado warning. This is a confirmed tornado getting very close to our viewing area, towards the Fayetteville area, about to butt up into Carroll County. So this is another area that there is a confirmed tornado, not in our viewing area yet, but if it continues down this path, it's another kind of obstacle we will have to deal with for tonight.
And what's interesting, Matt, is you can see on that view right there, if we go back to Matt's radar image, if we can, yeah, you can see we've got now this very broad tornado warning. You can see it's a pretty small area in the Fayetteville area west of Fayetteville, but then we've got this very broad tornado warned area up toward Benton County, stretching east across the Huntsville area. So that's a lot larger than you might typically see, or at least in this case. So what that tells me is that they're also seeing maybe the risk of maybe some embedded circulations trying to develop maybe in that little line segment right there to the south of Fayetteville. So maybe they're kind of broadening out that risk of a tornado, especially north and east away from Fayetteville, because of that. Because it looks like we could see some embedded circulations in that portion of the line as it tracks toward the northeast. And I think that that's something that we may see more of as we work through this evening. Coming back to my radar source, this is what radar looks like right now as we take a look at the wind fields. These are strong inbound winds, these are outbound winds, and in between is roughly where that circulation is. A circulation that looks like it did produce a tornado maybe over the last 15 minutes as it was tracking, especially across Henry County, southeastern Henry County. So northeast of Tightwad to the southwest of Palo Pinto, right about in here is where that circulation is right now. And it is looks like it's just a little to the west-southwest of Lincoln. So we'd put it maybe about 6 to 7 miles to the west-southwest of Lincoln. It looks like on its current trajectory that it will stay just to the west and northwest of Lincoln as it continues to track off toward the northeast. But if you live from, say, Lincoln northeast up toward Cole Camp, Lake Creek, you're still kind of roughly in that path. So you do want to remain in your tornado safe space as that circulation that has already generated a tornado, as that circulation tracks roughly in this fashion. Ionia may stay just to the north of that circulation, but it's going to be a close call. Looking at, we'll go ahead and let's track that out again. Looking at some of the ground that this is going to cover, and I think it's still moving northeast at 60. I mean, that was the latest update. That kind of goes against what we've seen in most of the warnings so far, but this is roughly where this storm is going to be. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for areas north of Cole Camp, but Lincoln looks like it should be there in roughly 5 to 10 minutes. Vicinity of your area. It will be, I think, a little west and northwest of Cole Camp at 7:50, a little west and northwest of Lake Creek at 7:55, and by 8 o'clock, it looks like it will be making its way out of Benton County. So this is a fast-moving thunderstorm, a fast-moving circulation that we're still tracking. I don't believe that there's a tornado on the ground at this point, but it certainly looks like it did touch down for a time over southeastern Henry County into western Benton County. The CC drop that we had been tracking has gone away. So let's go back over to that. This is our debris product, allows us to kind of see where a debris signature is, where a tornado, if it's developing, is very likely developing, or at least the vicinity of it. And this is over the last hour, and you can see. Right there, you can see that hole that develops in southeastern Henry County, and then it tracks up toward areas northeast of Tightwad. So this is debris that gets sucked up by the tornado, gets flung up into the air. Radar senses that difference in object size, and then those items that have been sucked up into the atmosphere, well, they get kind of blown around a bit by just the overall steering currents in the atmosphere. So even though it looks like we can see that CC drop maybe right there, that may be a little north of where the actual circulation center is currently located. And I would still put that west of Lincoln and to the northeast of Tightwad. Going back to here, let's take a look. This is our radar view. this is about where that circulation still is showing up. And trying to get some, let's see if I can go to a different source here. Maybe we can get some different streets to kind of pop in for us. Looks like that circulation is still very close to maybe a little north of C Highway to the northwest of Lincoln, kind of located between C Highway and HH Highway. That's pretty close to where it appears that circulation is. I think Palo Pinto is now southwest of where the circulation is. It looks like it is to the, looks like the circulation still a little west-northwest of Lincoln, and let's see if I can get that to kind of show up. Looks like it is located about, I'd put it about 4.5 miles to the west-northwest of Lincoln. So I think the tornado danger with this thunderstorm is probably going to stay, here's Lincoln right here, it's going to stay, I think, just west-northwest of Lincoln as it continues to track in that fashion. So folks in Warsaw, you guys are no longer under the gun. Looks like the tornado threat in your area has ended. For Tightwad, it looks like the tornado threat has ended, but it does remain for areas further northeast, especially west of Lincoln and northeast from there across northern sections of Benton County. It looks like that circulation, we just got a new scan in, you can still see it right there. That circulation is going to continue to track roughly like that. So that'll keep it northwest of Lincoln, and I think we're going to be able to keep it to the west and northwest of Cole Camp as it continues to the northeast. I'm going to clear off some of this other information that I've got and see what we've got over here. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Just kind of looking at this stuff, let's see. There's our latest radar view, and you can see we've got kind of this, it's almost this like comma shape. You can see it like this. This doesn't look like your typical supercell, right? But you can still see this circulation right in here in northwestern Benton County. So Warsaw located here. This is where, again, it looks like we've still got a possible tornado occurring. I think it probably did produce here in southeastern Henry County as it tracks now across northwestern Benton County. It does appear to be heading in the general direction of Ionia. So I think Ionia is probably going to be next in line for this tornado risk as that circulation comes in from the southwest. Looks like right now it is located pretty close to HH Highway. I would put it probably on top of HH Highway just to the east of Santiago. Looks like it's a little southwest of Cole Camp Junction. Looks like, again, to me, just based on where it's tracking, I think Ionia is probably next in line for maybe a direct impact from this possible tornado because it's tracking roughly in this fashion. Matt, you have some video to show us?
Yeah, I want to show something off when we go to the 3x3. This is over in Fayetteville. We're looking at Arkansas Road down there. This is where a confirmed tornado is happening. I don't think we're looking at the tornado right now, but you can see the fast winds, the blinding rainfall. This is what's about to spill into Carroll County if it continues to stay down that path. It is just intense in this area as well. You're getting those flashes of lightning that's happening. So this is kind of that next wave of thunderstorms that have that tornado potential that's about to spill into really northern Arkansas that we're keeping an eye out on right now. You can see this tree just bending back and forth in these fast winds that are going around, and you can't really see too far with that visibility because the rain is just blinding and consistently coming down. The rainfall rates have been impressive, really about 2 to 3 inches per hour, and that's why a lot of places are seeing concerns with flooding as well. So this is what's up next, kind of getting a peek of that, tornado that's happening in the Fayetteville region that's about to push into the Ozarks in the next coming hours, Jamie.
Yep, and that's the Fayetteville storm that we're watching, and then we've got this storm here further north up in northwestern Benton County right now. Again, you can still see that swirl right in here. This is approximately where that tornado would be located, or at least the circulation is located. I don't know that we have a tornado on the ground at this point. I think we did. That's why the Weather Service went ahead and went with a confirmed tornado based on confirmation through radar. Again, we had that debris signature. Not really seeing that any longer, but there still is a fairly strong circulation there. So kind of scoping that out here to the northwest of Lincoln, that really kind of pops out for you. You can see this is what we're tracking, and that is heading roughly in the direction of Ionia. Clearing out this information, we'll go ahead and track that out one more time because, again, that's going to be moving through Ionia here shortly. Let's see, kind of tracking roughly in this fashion. I'd put it in Ionia within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So roughly 7:49 this evening, we should see this tornado-warned storm crossing out of Benton County and crossing into the Ionia area here at about 7:49 this evening. From there, it looks like it could impact areas like South Fork. Now, the good news is for residents like around Lincoln and Cole Camp, it looks like the tornado risk will stay just to your west and northwest. So I think that you're gonna probably be able to sneak past this one. But the risk of a tornado does look like it's still very much on the table here in northern Benton County, with that storm likely crossing the county line in about 5 to 10 minutes and then impacting Ionia. And so with that, I mean, we've got areas up toward Pettis County. You don't have yet a tornado warning for that area, but I would guess the KC Weather Service office is probably looking at that possibility of issuing a tornado warning for southeastern Pettis County. Also maybe northwestern Morgan County. I think there's going to be that possibility for areas up toward Florence to possibly have a tornado warning over the next 10 to 15 minutes as we continue to track the circulation now out of Benton County. And then it's currently located, it looks like it's currently located to the west-northwest of Cole Camp. Looks like it will start crossing out of Benton County and into southeastern sections of Pettis County. So there's still a lot going on. Looks like, you know, what we're finding right now is the severe weather threat is kind of bookending our area. Let's clear that out. And what I mean by that is we've got tornado-warned storms to the north and to the south of a lot of our viewing area. You can see tornado-warned storm up in Benton County, tornado-warned storm down in the Fayetteville area. In between, we've got this wavy line of thunderstorms. And so far, that wavy line of thunderstorms has been generating some strong wind gusts, but we've not seen any embedded circulations develop. And that's good news. It does look like now we have a line of severe thunderstorms, and as we broaden this out, you can see that pretty clearly. We have a line of severe thunderstorms, which is it's going to very gradually work from west to east through the Ozarks. So our eastern counties, again, all day long, you've been probably watching the skies get darker and darker. We do now have a few isolated thunderstorms developing out ahead of this line, and we're going to have to watch those to see if those become severe. But we've got this main line now, and this is what's going to gradually work from west to east through the area this evening. Now, based on timing, and we're sitting at almost 8 o'clock this evening, looks like based on the line movement, I think we're going to find this line of thunderstorms roughly between Highway 65 and Highway 63 between 8 and 10 o'clock, and then east of Highway 63 between 10 o'clock and midnight tonight. I think we can go to Carissa with a quick look at what's going on in her vicinity. Carissa? And right now, you can see them. They're live. Are they in the storm tracker, Matt?
She should be in the storm tracker. We should be able to hear her too.
We should be able to. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got her.
Yeah, it's a little faint, but yeah, we can hear you. Tell us what you're seeing, Carissa.
Yeah, so right now we just turned on to Battlefield. We are seeing, this is honestly, if you guys can believe it, lighter rain than what we've been seeing. There are a couple of pools on the side of the road. I don't know if you can see that right there to your right. You guys have to be careful whenever you're out driving. We've seen a lot of cars still. I know that it is kind of a busy hour at the moment, and there have been a little bit less people on the road, so that is good. Make sure that everyone's being safe. Here we are, we're passing Fremont. So again, we've seen a lot of flashes of lightning. That sky is just so dark. It is only 7:45, so we are supposed to be seeing some sunshine right now. We are going pretty slow. We're trying to make sure that we're staying safe here. We are not in the storm tracker, so we don't have all the fancy bells and whistles here going on. But again, there is some pooling on the side of the road from potential flooding here, and we're going to keep driving around. We're in Springfield right now. We're going to continue to kind of stay in town and make sure that we can find any damage that happens, or any, I know that Matt said earlier, wind could be a big problem for us here. Jamie, Matt?
Oh, and Carissa, you're absolutely right on the wind. I mean, I think that's probably the broader threat with this line of thunderstorms. It's going to be for wind and wind damage. We've actually had some reports of strong winds and wind damage with this particular thunderstorm, which is quickly making its way through northwestern Benton County. The tornado threat is located roughly about in there, approaching Ionia. But along the path of this thunderstorm, even outside of where a likely tornado touched down in southeastern Henry County, even outside of that, we have had reports of wind damage. In Lowry City, a report of a roof of a barn blocking southbound Highway 13 near Lowry City, also reporting some damage in the Lowry City area. And then further north up to west of Tightwad, there's a report that there was a gust of 70 to 80 miles per hour. This was not related to a tornado, I don't believe, but because of the overall thunderstorm structure generating 70 to 80 mile per hour winds as that storm moved through. And like we saw just a few weeks ago here in Springfield and areas along I-44 southwest of Springfield, 70 to 80 mile per hour winds can do quite a bit of damage, even if it's not technically a tornado. You can get a lot of trees down, power lines down, and power outages. In fact, Matt, go ahead if you can, take a look at power outages and see what that looks like. Sometimes that too can give us a clue as to how much damage has occurred, and it can also give us an idea of where a tornado may have tracked. Because
I'll start talking about power outages, but if our producer can kind of go full on kind of the power outage map, I've seen about 1,200 people in St. Clair County without power, 500 in Cedar without power, 750 in Vernon without power, McDonald County nearly 2,000 people without power. So it's definitely, you're starting to see those numbers roll in. And a lot of times these numbers kind of lag behind, where they almost take an hour or two to start to really roll in. And it makes sense where those thunderstorms were just a couple hours ago. That's where we're seeing people without power. So fast winds are really what we have to deal with, combined with this tornado threat, combined with the flooding threat that has been persisting as well.
Yeah, and getting back to those strong winds, just the overall look of this system that's tracking through Benton County, you can see it's kind of getting this more comma look about it. On the north end of it, we would call that a comma head vortice. So sometimes, you know, when storms take on this structure, you have a signature for damaging winds, and then on the northern end, sometimes on both ends of it, you can get these vortices that can generate tornadoes. So we've got this bookend vortice right here to the west of Cole Camp, approaching Ionia. And it looks like we've already seen a tornado produced from that circulation. In addition to that, just the overall look of this, and you can see how that line is surging northeast now. That's why the forward speed ramped up from 25 miles per hour to 60 miles per hour. That line of severe storms is now is surging northeast across Benton County. We probably had some very strong winds impact areas from Warsaw through Lincoln and Cole Camp, even outside of where the tornado risk was.
Jamie, you mentioned Lincoln. That's where that spotter is who's been kind of chasing these storms. He's estimating wind speeds about 75 in Lincoln.
Lincoln, yeah.
That's about EF0 wind speeds that's occurring.
Yeah. So not a tornado per se, but still it can produce widespread wind damage. I mean, we saw that just weeks ago up and down I-44 from Joplin right into Springfield. Yes, there were embedded tornadoes that touched down with that event, but most of the damage was caused by straight line winds. And I think that we're looking at that risk right now, damaging straight line winds moving northeast across northern Benton County. Just looking at that warning in particular, they do have wind speeds upwards of, let's see here, the possibility, in fact, I think they've slowed that speed down to 45 miles per hour, but again, wind speeds of maybe 60 to 70 miles per hour still look possible with that line of thunderstorms, and then on the northern end of it is where we have that tornado threat. Since it has slowed down a touch, I'm going to go ahead and stop that. Let's see if we can kind of highlight where the circulation is again, and we'll go back over to this view. This is looking at the winds, the overall look of the winds inside that storm. And so we're using the Springfield radar site. You can see these orange colors right in here. These are indicative of very strong winds off the surface. But some of that wind energy is making it down to the surface, and this is what's surging toward the northeast. Further west, this is the circulation that's currently located southwest of Ionia. That's where the risk of a tornado is still present. And it looks like that, again, is just to the southwest of Ionia, moving northeast at 45 now. That's going to bring it across Ionia over the next few minutes, before 8 o'clock. Then from there, looks like it could pose a threat to northernmost Morgan County in about 25 to 30 minutes. So residents here in northern Morgan County, north of Florence especially, the risk of a tornado is tracking through this general corridor. But even south of that, through Florence down towards Stover, we're probably going to get some very strong winds, again, as a result of that line, which is making its way from southwest to northeast. Again, here's that loop, and you can see that line of severe thunderstorms marching northeast now, with a surge here toward the northeast. And then that will bring it into northwestern Morgan County. So I think we're going to be looking at some winds, strong winds, possible wind damage here in northwestern Morgan County. And of course, there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that area because of that risk of damaging winds. Just kind of broadly looking at what's going on, looks like a new tornado warning was just issued. That does include areas from Ionia, northeast, across sections southeast of Sedalia. So that's in Pettis County, southeastern Pettis County. A new tornado warning just issued for that area. This is for areas west of Florence. Again, it still looks like the risk of a tornado attached to that circulation that's now crossing the Ionia area and then will cross through southeastern Pettis County. In addition to that, though, again, just looking at this, just looking at what I see on radar, I think that this definitely is a sign. You can see that bowing or that surge in this line of thunderstorms. That surge toward the northeast is a sign that we're probably getting very strong winds, damaging straight line winds. And that is what's going to continue to make its way off toward the northeast. You can see another feature, we call it a rear inflow jet. That's another sign that we're probably getting very strong winds down to the surface. As I pause this, you can see how very intense reflectivities here. Notice how they quickly drop off down toward the Warsaw area. So we've got strong winds higher up in the atmosphere coming into the backside of this line, kind of pushing it forward, and then some of that wind energy is getting forced down closer to the surface. And that process of dropping down through the atmosphere helps to erode away some of the heavier rainfall that was there. And so you get this drop in reflectivity, and that's just another sign that we're probably getting some very strong, damaging winds now across northeastern Benton County, and then that will track into northwestern Morgan County. The tornado warned portion of this storm is located near Ionia, now getting into southeastern sections of Pettis County. Further south, looking down the line here in the Springfield area, heavy rain off to the east, heavy rain across Christian County. There has been some gusty winds. I don't think that we've had a lot of reports of wind damage. Matt, correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think that the wind speeds haven't been quite sufficient to generate a lot of damage. But that gust front, and we'll go back over to this, that gust front has made its way completely through the Springfield area. Yep. It's now into Webster County, so this is it right here. Here's Marshfield. This is the leading edge of strong winds that have already pushed across Greene County, now into Webster County, pushing across eastern Christian County. Looks like the gust front has already crossed through the Sparta area, and this is going to continue to push east. In fact, we'll go ahead and animate that. And you can see that line, again, continue to push east. This is the gust front pushing east, likely getting some strong wind gusts. Just based on what I'm seeing right here, maybe 40 to 50 miles per hour. I don't see anything really showing, I don't really see anything that says it's stronger than that, but certainly 40 to 50 mile per hour winds would be strong enough to potentially take down a limb, could lead to some power outages, could be dangerous if you were outside. That gust front will continue to press off toward the east. Going further down the line, we'll kind of stick with this. I did want to get down into northwest Arkansas because we still have a tornado warned storm in the Huntsville area, and that circulation just kind of looks like it's moving, maybe not northeast, but not east either. It looks like maybe a little north of east. So there it is right there. It looks like roughly along that line, it would get into Carroll County. I think it stays to the southeast of Eureka Springs, but areas like Berryville, Green Forest, Rule, Osage, kind of be watchful. Be mindful that you've got a tornado warned storm to your southwest that could impact your area maybe over the next 20 minutes to 30 minutes as it continues to track off toward the northeast. Again, looking back at that storm in northern Benton County, we'll go back to that view. And come on, computer. It's a little slow sometimes. There it is right there. You can see that circulation again tracking across Henry County, then Benton County, and now it's getting into Pettis County. I mean, this circulation has been very apparent, and I think especially as it was moving across southeastern Henry County, there was a debris signature. So we probably had a tornado touchdown roughly in this area, north of Osceola. May have happened just before it got to the county line, and then it probably was on the ground, at least at times, across southeastern Henry County, and I think it lifted once it got just to the east of the county line, or northwest of Warsaw. That tornado risk, though, continues with that circulation. Looks like we got just another little update on the sliver of a tornado warning here in northeastern Benton County. Take a look at that. It hasn't updated on my other computer source, but what they're doing is they're just kind of trimming back the southwestern part of this warning because it looks like the tornado risk, and you can see it right there, that circulation looks like it's now located pretty much on top of the county line. It looks like it should be moving into southeastern Pettis County, and with that they'll probably get rid of that sliver of a warning that we have for the Cole Camp area. I think the tornado risk staying to the northwest of Cole Camp. But in the Cole Camp area, I'm sure we've had some very strong winds. It looks like we've seen strong winds across a broad area of Benton County, including Lincoln, including Warsaw. You can see these orange shaded colors right in there. These are strong winds surging northeast with that line across Benton County. And I think within that corridor, we probably had not only strong winds, but probably some wind damage. I mean, Matt was looking at some of the power outages earlier, and we were seeing peaks of power outage in areas where
Jamie,
this particular storm tracked through.
New tornado warning. This is going to go into Carroll County. So that was kind of, we were looking earlier that tornado that's happened over the Fayetteville region. This is extended into Carroll County right now. The particulars on this, let me get it for you. Going to be going, actually I don't have, 60 miles per hour to the east. So this is another fast mover. This previously produced a confirmed tornado. Right now it's just radar indicated, but this is another tornado warning. You know, as we're kind of wrapping up the one in Bentonville, we have another one happening down to the south.
Yeah, and I can see that circulation is very evident. I'm looking at a different radar source, but it's very evident. I'll stop this. If I zoom in, hopefully we'll be able to see it. But it's very evident west of Huntsville. And it doesn't look overly impressive maybe in that particular view, but it's perked up a little bit. I've got an updated radar image, and on that updated radar image, it looks like that circulation is right about, I just want to make sure I get this right. Looks like it's right about in here. So I'll wait for a new scan to come in. This is an older scan. Latest scan indicates that we've still got a fairly strong circulation. It's very apparent on radar. It looks like a pretty tight couplet to the west of Huntsville, almost due west of Huntsville. It is approaching Highway 68. So looks like we may have, again, a possible tornado. Matt said it was confirmed at one point. Radar indicated now. But looks like we have a possible tornado tracking west of Huntsville, approaching Highway 68. And it looks like, you know, based on, I mean, 60 mile per hour forward movement, that's going to get it into Carroll County here shortly. So let's go ahead and track that out for our viewers in southeastern Carroll County. Again, another very broad tornado warning. Looking at this, located right about in there, so about 60 miles per hour. This is, I mean, based on that, I mean, this is the amount of ground that this tornado warned storm is going to cover as it makes its way toward Carroll County and then across southeastern Carroll County. Looks like Eureka Springs, you guys are going to stay just outside of the tornado risk with this particular thunderstorm. But Berryville, particularly down toward Green Forest, that you're going to be roughly in line. Now it's going to take a little while, but this storm moving very quickly to the east-northeast at 60 miles per hour. So it may be roughly around Green Forest at about 8:27 this evening, or say 25 to 30 minutes from now. If you live around Cabinal, about 8:20 this evening, anywhere really around, I would say, Green Forest south down to Osage, that area in southeastern Carroll County. Just be ready for a possible tornado over the next 20 to 30 minutes. Again, the storm's still located west of Huntsville, but it is tracking in your direction. And I think over the next 20 to 30 minutes, we're going to have this potentially tornadic thunderstorm tracking across southeastern Carroll County. Just got a new scan in on our on-air computer. Let's see what that looks like. And you can still see, I mean, right here, and this is it looks like it's about 69 miles. I mean, this is about 69 miles from our Springfield radar site. So it's a pretty good distance away. We're hitting the storm at about 4,000 feet. So we're not really seeing what's going on near the surface, but you can still see pretty easily. You can see the stronger inbound winds right here, and then the stronger outbound winds just to the west or northwest of Huntsville. So if we've got a tornado trying to develop, it looks like it's going to be somewhere just northwest of Huntsville, maybe just south of Highway 412, just to the northwest of Huntsville. So there's still, as I said earlier, I mean, it's almost like we've got these two areas of tornado risk kind of bookending a broader area of wind damage risk. This is a little bit messy. I'll swap out views here. This will just show you the warnings and like traditional radar, and even that's a little bit messy, but you can see the tornado warning going into Pettis County, and then further south, this is the tornado warning going into Carroll County. Areas in between, there's a risk of severe weather, but right now it's mainly damaging winds and strong wind gusts that we're finding with that part of the line. We're not seeing any circulations, and I say that, Matt, have you been kind of keeping an eyeball on circulations? Anything showing up on radar between our two tornado warned storms? I don't see anything.
No, it's just kind of that line of storms that's really firing up, and it's, I mean, you see it, it's starting to exit Berry County right now, and that's what we have to watch is, does this line, do we start to get any kinks or bows? And if you go kind of further down into the south, just south of Carroll County, you can see kind of that bending, that bow in that line, and that's what's issuing this tornado warning. Not seeing rotation for areas really in Missouri, with the exception, obviously, of northern Benton County, where they just had that tornado warning move through.
Yeah, and I've just been kind of, as you were talking, I was just kind of looking at a loop of radar.
They confirmed that tornado in Carroll County, so I want to try to look at CC.
Okay. And, you know, while Matt's checking on that, again, he's looking at this particular tornado warned storm right there. That's near the Huntsville area, just northwest of Huntsville. So what he's looking at to see if there's a CC drop, a debris signature, because it's now become a radar confirmed tornado. While we're doing that, we can go back out to Carissa just to give you a sampling of what, you know, if you were to get out right now in Springfield, this is what you see. Carissa, this looks like a mess to drive in.
Yeah, Jamie, I'm not going to lie, it hasn't been fun. I know I said earlier that the rain had kind of quieted down a little bit, but it is back full force. I haven't gotten any notifications on my phone yet if we're in another thunderstorm warning, so correct me if I'm wrong here, but this rain is just coming down, and these roads, you just saw another big flash of lightning. That's what we've been seeing. Really, really slick roads, a lot of lightning. We've been hearing some thunder. Again, if I kind of stay quiet a little bit, you might even be able to hear how hard that rain is coming down on our windshield. Right now we are in Springfield, as you said. We are going down Republic Road here, and we are about to come up on National. So we are about on the central south side of town. And again, yeah, guys, it is real dark outside. Those clouds are just looking real moody. We can barely see those cars that are in front of us. And again, if you're having to get out for whatever reason, I really don't recommend it. But if you have to get out, you have no choice. Please be safe out there. This is what we're seeing right now. Our windshield wipers are going real fast, guys, and we can just barely see what's going on. Now, here's National. We're coming up on that. Again, a lot of water pooling in the roads. Here we go right over this. And, yeah, we hit some puddles there. So, again, I know I've said it before. Please be careful if you do absolutely have to get out, but it is just getting darker and the rain is coming down even harder as the night goes on right here, and we're going to still be out here driving around, so we'll be continuously checking in every once in a while, and hopefully if it gets too bad, we're going to have to find somewhere to pull over. Jamie, Matt?
And the rainfall rates that you're looking at right there, I mean, we're probably still looking maybe 1 to 2 inches per hour. You know, Carissa mentioned whether or not we had any severe warnings in effect for the Springfield area. No severe thunderstorm warnings. So right now, it's just still the danger of heavy rainfall and lightning. The severe weather risk appears to have kind of come to an end, at least for now, in Springfield. And it's really starting to shift east of Highway 65. Now, Matt has mentioned that they did confirm the tornado-warned storm down in Huntsville, that is a radar-confirmed, I believe it's radar-confirmed tornado. Now, I did take a look down there. You can still see the circulation. It's now north of Highway 412. Looks like it is north of Huntsville. I did not see a debris signature, but I only had like just a short period of time to kind of investigate that. But
I didn't see one either, Jamie. That's I've been trying to look from both the Springfield radar site and the Fort Smith radar site. I'm not seeing a debris ball. Definitely not like what we saw in Henry County. That was a well-defined one. I'm not really seeing it with this, at least for now.
But yeah, so Tulsa, the office there. So just kind of give you some information there. There are multiple Weather Service offices that kind of cover our viewing area. And in Northwest Arkansas, that's Tulsa. And much of Southwest Missouri and South Central Missouri, that's Springfield. Further south into North Central Arkansas, that's Little Rock. This particular tornado warned storm, that warning getting issued by the Tulsa Weather Service office. Yes, I can absolutely see a circulation there north of Highway 412, north of Huntsville. I just don't see that debris signature, but they see enough evidence to support a radar-confirmed tornado. So again, please take this seriously. If you live in southeastern Carroll County, I mean, this is what's coming your way. That storm is going to make its way through southeastern Carroll County, and as it moves through, it may come with a risk of a tornado. So you've got time, but this storm is moving very quickly to the east-northeast at about 60 miles per hour. We'll put it northeast to east-northeast at about 60 miles per hour, and that will get it into southeastern Carroll County over the next 20 to 30 minutes. Looks like another broad severe thunderstorm warning getting issued for areas of Christian County, Stone County, back toward Berry County, Taney County. A new severe thunderstorm warning there for this new line. I won't say new. It's really kind of part of this very wavy line of thunderstorms in our area, but you could see this surge in the line coming across Berry County, and that surge likely producing some strong winds and the risk of damaging winds as it moves out of Berry County and into Stone County. So new severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for areas from Cassville east across Galena, Branson, Nixa, Ozark, and it's for this line segment that you see right here racing into Stone County. So damaging winds possible with that line crossing into Stone County right now.
And those come with a tornado possible tag. That's worth mentioning as well.
Yeah, and as I take a look further east, we've got a tornado warned storm south of the St. Louis area. Of course, St. Louis very hard hit back on Friday afternoon and evening. Tornado warned storm to the south of St. Louis. I point that out because we have the main line. And I'll go back over to this view right here. We have the main line of thunderstorms here along Highway 65. But east of that main line, we do have a few individual thunderstorms. And as we animate this, an hour-long radar loop, you can see individual thunderstorm intensifying, becoming tornadic possibly. Individual thunderstorm right there. We've got another one here in Dent County, another one here in Texas County. I'm pointing these out because these are out ahead of this main line, and there is going to be potential for them to rapidly become severe as they track off to the north-northeast. That's what's happened with this storm south of St. Louis. It's rapidly organized, and now there's a tornado warning in effect for that thunderstorm. And that possibility may come with these thunderstorms to the southwest if they organize. I haven't checked this. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what our watches look like, because I haven't been able to look what the Storm Prediction Center has done. But right now, I don't see really much change. It looks like there's a little bit more of an eastward extent on the tornado watches now between Highway 65 and Highway 63. But if you live in Rolla, Salem, Eminence, Licking, Kabul, West Plains, Alton, down toward Ash Flat, you're not technically under a tornado watch. But what we've seen south of St. Louis with now a tornado warned storm is very possible even out ahead of this tornado watch that you find to your west. So,
Jamie, I do want to mention the Storm Prediction Center about a half hour ago. They put out a discussion and they said watches in that area are about 80 to 90% likely, and they're watching out for tornadoes that could be somewhere between 120 to 150 mile per hour wind speeds on that. So not under a watch right now. I imagine that's going to be coming out fairly soon. Still, that tornado potential really lingers for areas that are along 63 and further off into the east. You're not seeing a whole lot of activity right now, but that doesn't mean you're completely clear for the night.
No, yeah, I mean this is going to be one of those nights where it's gonna go into the late evening hours. I think we're going to be able to wrap up a lot of this severe weather threat around or shortly after midnight, but we've got a little ways to go. Now, I do want to go back to, Matt mentioned the tornado possible tag with the warning that's in effect for Christian County, Taney County, Stone County. So as we go to our velocity data, we're getting to this phase of thunderstorm activity where now we're getting more of a line of thunderstorms. And within that line, given the amount of wind energy, we can get these low-level, relatively brief circulations that can show up. And I see one showing up right now, and there's no warning at all in this area, but I do see a circulation showing up. This is south of High Prairie, southeast of Marshfield, to the west of New Grove. So you can see, here's Highway 38, High Prairie. You can see these are strong outbound winds. We've got some inbound wind motion here. So we may have a circulation starting to show up on this line to the south of High Prairie. Not tornado warned, I just want to point it out because this is the kind of thing that we're going to be looking for the next several hours along this line. These very quick developing, shallow circulations that can produce tornadoes. A lightning strike, we may be able to come back on. I don't know where
we're still live. We're still live.
Okay, we're still live in the studio. It's a little bit, some of the stuff in the studio, some of the monitors are having trouble coming back up. But again, we just had a lightning strike here at the station. You probably heard that clap of thunder. What I was pointing out again, though, is this circulation that is showing up on radar to the southwest of High Prairie. That I will be watching closely, along with other potential circulations that may try to show up on the line. Again, that is in eastern Webster County. Just wanted to note that. Further south along the line, you can see this surge right here. This is a gust front. This is where we're finding a risk of strong winds. There's also another line of storms back here moving into western Stone County. A risk of strong winds with that as it pushes across Stone County. I'll also be looking at that line for any embedded circulations as it continues east. Further south, we still have a tornado-warned storm approaching Carroll County. It is still located just outside of southeastern Carroll County. You can see it's down toward the Marble area, west of Marble, east of Alabama. And I'm going to see on a different radar view what that looks like. Looks like that circulation is located just north of Marble now. Looks like it's just beginning to move into southeastern Carroll County. So different radar view off air. I can see that this has moved into, that circulation is showing up right about in here, just to the north of Marble. So it looks like that circulation that's prompted the tornado warning is now in southeastern Carroll County. I think it's just now moved across the county line. It's in southeastern Carroll County, and it looks like it's moving roughly like this. So I think areas, especially from Rule down toward Osage, up toward Alpena, this is down toward Marble. This is the corridor that I'm going to be watching, and you probably see my cursor right there. I'm kind of standing in front of it. That is the corridor that I'm going to be watching closely. That is the area that circulation should track through over the next 20 minutes. That tornado warning, I don't want to say downgraded, but they did take the radar confirmed part of the warning out. So because they're not.
Jamie, you're mentioning those circulations you're watching out for. There is a new tornado warning coming out for Webster and Wright County.
Okay.
It's the same area that you were pinpointing earlier that you said we need to watch. That has now been issued with a tornado warning.
So here's the new tornado warning that Matt mentioned right here. That is the circulation that we're looking at right here to the south of High Prairie. Getting back, just kind of want to change. Oh yeah, it's really.
And this is northeast at 35.
Yeah, and it's really tightened up. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say they may be able to confirm this one. Looks like we do have a little bit of it. It's a very, these embedded circulations are very, they develop very quickly, they intensify very quickly, and then they fade very quickly typically. So they're kind of hard to, it's hard to see all of this as it's happening, but I do see a very tight circulation. It is just, looks like it's very close to Highway 38. I'm going to go to a different radar source here because I want to be able to, let's see if I can get this going. There it is right there. Different radar source, and this circulation again is located just to the south of High Prairie, very close to Highway 38. Going to a different, come on computer. It's very close to Highway 38. So we've got C Highway to the east of the circulation. Highway 38 kind of runs west to east, just north of the circulation. That circulation now, I would guess, based on the latest scan that I've got here from 8:15, that circulation now appears to be east of High Prairie, very close to the intersection of C Highway and Highway 38. There was a tightening up of that circulation, and it looked like maybe a bit of a CC drop in the vicinity of that circulation. So I'm looking at different scans on different sources, but I'm trying to get everything kind of lined up. But again, it looks like we've got a circulation here along Highway 38 that's prompted the tornado warning. This is from High Prairie east through Grove Spring and Manus. Areas along Highway 38 just east of High Prairie, this is where it looks like we may have a tornado trying to move through, trying to develop, trying to move through. I have seen a tightening up of that circulation and maybe hints of a bit of a CC drop or hints of a debris signature. So we'll wait on that. I can't confirm that. It kind of looks like it's going that way. At the very least, we do have a possible tornado. I think that possible tornado would be located just east of High Prairie. Using different radar sources that are updating a little bit faster, I'll go ahead and kind of really hone in on this. It looks like that circulation is now located right about here. So right here, this is where we have a possible tornado. That is east of High Prairie, right along Highway 38, and going to a different radar source. That would be in the vicinity, trying to get, there are some homes that look like in the vicinity of that, trying to get some roads to pop in for me. That doesn't seem to want to happen. Grapevine Road looks to be just west. Grapevine Road looks to be just west of where a possible tornado is maybe developing. That is Grapevine Road, where it intersects Highway 38. Just east of that point, just to the north maybe of Highway 38, is where we may have a possible tornado. That circulation seems to be centered right about in there. Just looking at new updated radar information, looks like that circulation is now continuing to push downstream. It is now north of Highway 38. Looks like it is northwest of Duncan. Just kind of tracking it on a different source. It looks like it's located right about in here. That is east of High Prairie, north of Duncan, where it looks like a possible tornado may be occurring. And
this does look like it's going to go to the north of Hartville. I know there's a lot of people in Hartville probably worried right now. This rotation is to the north of you. Don't have concerns in Hartville at the moment.
But if you live maybe toward Loring or Boyer, back toward the Duncan area, this is F Highway kind of runs through that area. Folks near F Highway between Duncan and Loring or Duncan and Boyer, you very well may have a tornado developing and moving through. That circulation still showing up on radar as we speak, and it looks like it's not tracking. Let's see, I'll clear this out. It's not tracking, it looks like it's tracking more east. Just looking at the scan here. That scan looks like it is tracking, pause this. I'm looking at another radar view off camera. It is tracking northeast. It looks like it is tracking northeast. I do think that, I'm pretty sure we did have a CC drop. I'm almost 100% certain that we had a CC drop, a debris signature. So I think we probably did have a tornado touchdown along Highway 38. This would have been over here over the last 5 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes. and that would have occurred along Highway 38 between High Prairie and Duncan. I do think that we may have had a tornado touchdown. This probably would have occurred near and east of Highway C as the circulation was crossing Highway 38. Looking at...
This may still be producing, Jamie. I mean, this is the last frame I saw from CC. I'm still seeing signs of that. I'm still seeing tight rotation.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this did produce, and there's still signs that it may continue.
So let's see. This, our on-air radar source sometimes isn't the best looking. I'll go ahead and put that out there, but you can kind of see what we're looking at here. So this is our debris tracker. Here's High Prairie. This is what I'm looking at right here. This is where it looks like we had a CC drop. This crossed through this area. And so I think we may have had a tornado touchdown. There may be an intermittent tornado track, but I think it probably touched down maybe near C Highway, crossed Highway 38. It may still be, there may still be something on the ground, but the circulation that prompted that appears to have, it's kind of weak. And I'll go back to that and see if this is updated.
Jamie, I do need to mention this too. We have another tornado warning that has been issued. This one is kind of continuing the tornado warning that was in Carroll County into Boone County. So now people in Harrison are finding themselves in a tornado warning at this time. I'm not seeing anything on radar that kind of screams this is a tornado on the ground, kind of when you compare that to what we're seeing further up to the north around Highway 38. So that's why we're focusing on that one right now. But I do want to mention the people in Boone County, you're finding yourselves in a tornado warning at this moment.
And producers, if you can hear what we're saying, if you would, go ahead and kind of look in on southeastern Pettis County, southeastern Henry County, in that area. Probably a tornado touchdown. And then also it looks like maybe here along Highway 38 to the east of High Prairie, along Highway 38, we may have had a tornado touchdown just based on what we were seeing on radar.
National Weather Service, they say they want to see a little bit more before they confirm that tornado, but I think me and you, Jamie, we're pretty confident what we're seeing.
Yeah, and going back to, you know, Matt's talked about new tornado warnings to the south. Let's go ahead and investigate these. We have not really looked at what's going on in the Harrison area. Just kind of drag this down a little bit. You can see Harrison still well out ahead of the line. And this, I'm going to say, this radar source is not updating the way I would like it to. So we're going to have to kind of point out where things are. But it looks like the circulation that we're worried about is located just north of Osage. So here's Osage right here. That circulation appears to be roughly about in here. So just to the northwest of Osage. Let me see if I can tighten that up a little bit. Matt, on that warning, is it still moving at 60 miles per hour?
You're talking about the one in Arkansas?
In Arkansas.
The new warning is for 55, so they have it just a pinch slower.
Okay, so based on that, so just got a new scan in. This is pretty close. Looks like it's pretty accurate now. This, you can see the circulation, again, this is probably, it's still a little bit old. That circulation located right about in there. Let's go ahead and track this out. 55. So for residents here in Boone County, so it looks like over the next 5 to 10 minutes, it'll continue to track northeast across southeastern Carroll County. So it's going to be moving away from Osage. Looks like it may cross Highway 412 in the next 5 minutes. In about 5 to 10 minutes, it probably crosses out of southeastern Carroll County and into southwestern Boone County. And then over the next 25 to 30 minutes, looks like Harrison, you guys may be under the gun. That circulation, which is currently located back here, it will continue to track roughly in this fashion. It may track a little north of you, but it's going to probably be a close call. I would say maybe in about 15 to 20 minutes, we should see that circulation crossing Highway 65 somewhere very close to Harrison, maybe a little north of Harrison, but still very close to the Harrison area. Again, let me clear that information. It looks like our radar data is having a little bit of trouble. It's kind of coming in and out. But just looking at off-air radar sources, that circulation appears to be just to the west of Highway 412. So it's a little northeast of Osage, just to the west of Highway 412. It may get close to Alpena. I think it's probably going to stay just to the south of Alpena. but it will cross Highway 412 over the next 5 minutes. And then I think within 10 minutes, it should be crossing maybe a little south of Alpena into southwestern Boone County. And then from there, looks like it would cross Highway 65 somewhere roughly in about the next 15 minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes or so. It's still, the circulation is still in southeastern Carroll County, just to the northeast of Osage. So while we're talking about that, I just want to look back to the north. I think they did go ahead, they did lift that tornado warning that had been in effect for areas up along Highway 38. So
that's what you have to watch out for, Jamie, is that these form very quickly. They're very intense, and then they disappear just as quickly as they form. So the rotation that we're seeing in kind of Webster-Wright County, that has broadened out. Not concerned about it at this moment. Just the only tornado warning we have is into northern Arkansas. Yeah,
so this is the area that we were really kind of looking at. I'll go ahead and loop this, and hopefully you can see that. You can see the circulation kind of pop in there to the east of High Prairie. Again, we're having a little bit of trouble, I think, with the radar data coming into our on-air system. So it's a little bit choppier than I would like it to be, but you can see the circulation approaching, kind of passing by High Prairie to the east, crossing Highway 38, and notice, and I'll stop this, it may be easier if we just kind of step through this. There's the circulation. You can see it east of High Prairie, right here, north of Highway 38, to the west of Highway 5. And notice in the next scan that we have, it's gone. This is, like Matt said, this is the concern I think that I have for the next several hours. We've had supercell thunderstorms, which are a lot easier to track. The circulations tend to be more persistent. Now we're getting into maybe more of a mode, as we work deeper into this evening, more of a mode where the circulations they develop quickly, they go away quickly, but that does not mean that you can't get a tornado touchdown. They typically are weak, but you can still get tornado touchdowns that can cause maybe more localized, focused areas of tornado damage. And I think we may have had a tornado touchdown there near Highway 38, just to the east of High Prairie. We'll continue to watch that developments there with that. Looking again, here, this is our radar view. It's showing you warnings as well, and just kind of watching this, you can see this line continues to gradually push east now. You know, I think the severe weather threat that we went into this evening with, it is now that we have more of a line of thunderstorms here, as this line pushes through your area, the severe weather risk will probably come down quite a bit. In fact, here's another way we can look at that. I'm going to look at instability, and notice how with this line that's coming through western Missouri and northwest Arkansas, notice how that gasoline, that storm fuel that we've had in place, we've really kind of worked that out of the atmosphere here over western Missouri. So as that line, now that it's taken shape, as that pushes through, it's going to use up a lot of that available gasoline, a lot of that storm fuel, and with that, as the line pushes through your area, once you get on the other side of it, the severe weather threat dramatically goes down. And we may find that the tornado threat is completely over with once that line goes through your area. But areas along and east of the line, because it's not just along the line itself, we've still got these embedded, we've still got these isolated thunderstorms out ahead of it. This particular thunderstorm here south of St. Louis, that had been tornado warned. We've got a pretty good cluster of thunderstorms here to the southeast of Rolla. We've got additional thunderstorms here down toward Wright County, and actually I should say Texas County, northern Shannon County. So far these storms have kind of behaved themselves. They haven't become severe, but this activity we're going to watch as well, because these could develop and become severe weather producers. This is the main line though. The tornado threat that we had with this portion of the line has now moved north out of our area, but it's still prompting severe thunderstorm warnings. In fact, here to the north of Miller County, you can see this severe thunderstorm warning right there. That comes with a tornado possible tag. Further south, we don't see, in fact, I'll take the radar information off. Let's see if I can find that. Looking at this, getting down to, let's see, take that radar information off. You can see we have the severe thunderstorm warnings here. We don't have anything in between, and then you get down to Christian County and Taney County, and this is where the severe weather threat kind of picks back up. Now, areas in between, like we saw in the High Prairie area, it doesn't mean that you're completely out of the woods, even though you may not have a warning in place. We're going to be watching that line closely to see if little circulations can get going. And that would prompt, at the very least, maybe a severe thunderstorm warning or possibly even a tornado warning. So even though we don't have warnings in between this cluster up here and the cluster in southwest Missouri, we're still going to be watching this area very closely. And a tornado watch does remain in effect.
The Jamie, as you say that, let's flip over to Max 2 because the tornado watches have been extended for every single county into the Ozarks. I think the counties that are really to the west along the I-49 corridor, not as concerned about tornadoes forming up for you, but I do want to kind of reestablish every county in our viewing area right now is currently under a tornado watch. I know previously those counties that are really farther off to the east, kind of along 63, were not in a watch. That has now been issued. Everyone is under a tornado watch. We have to push out this line of thunderstorms. It's going to be an active night until we can do that.
And, you know, going back to let's take a look at what, well, right now I'm kind of looking at that, the tornado warned portion of this line that's now moving into western Boone County in the Harrison area. And right now, I mean, it looks like that circulation that prompted the tornado warning, it's not as focused as it was. So I'm going to swap back over. We're taking a look at the wind fields. Let's see what this looks like. I mean, you can still see it. This is a little bit of an old image. Looks like we still have in this scan, you can see right here, looks like maybe still evidence of a circulation, and that has now since moved into western Boone County. But the rotation itself isn't real tight any longer. It's more linear. It's taken more of a linear look. So we have more of what we call a shear axis. So I'm going to see what they do with this tornado warning, but I think the tornado threat may hopefully be diminishing a bit with this particular thunderstorm. There's still rotation in that area, and it looks like that rotation is kind of focused near and south of Highway 62, just to the southeast of Alpena. But right now, nothing stands out as a real focused, sharp, concentrated area of rotation. That said, again, there's a very broad tornado warning that is in effect, and I think it's because, you know, we've got this line of severe thunderstorms. We'll go back over to this view. This line of severe thunderstorms, which is pushing now into western Boone County. And just like we saw up in Webster County, we could see along that shear axis, we could see something try to tighten back up and maybe prompt, you know, maybe generate a tornado. So at this stage of the game, we still have a very broad tornado warning that does include Boone County all the way into Marion County, not quite to the Yellville area, up toward Lead Hill, west of Yellville, all the way back through Harrison. This is all tornado warned as this line of severe thunderstorms continues to push in from the west. Now, the very focused circulation that had prompted the initial tornado warnings, that appears to have weakened and faded to some extent. But there's still a fairly strong shear axis. When I say axis, I mean there's still a long area of rotation right in here at the leading edge that we're watching closely as it moves into western Boone County. The focus of which appears to be pretty close to Highway 62 east of Alpena, maybe to the northwest of Harrison. So, you know, if I really had to kind of focus in on a particular area, I'd say right there along Highway 412, just west of Highway 65 where it intersects with Highway 65, that appears, and that's east of Alpena, northwest of Harrison, that appears to be the most focused area of rotation that I can see on radar in that particular area associated with the line. But again, a tornado warning does remain in effect for most of Boone County, including the Harrison area, and that does extend east into Marion County. Let's go ahead. What I'm going to do here, because I think we've got a little bit of a lull in the action. I'm going to look further north, see if there's anything jumping out at me, any circulations kind of popping out at me. I do see, as we take a look at the wind fields again. I'm going to shift the view back to the north. This may look a little bit messy. I do see along this line though. So here's Lebanon, Phillipsburg. Looks like we have a little eddy right there. little eddy right there. So there are, even though they're not tornado warned, we do have little embedded circulations. They're weak, not strong enough to prompt a tornado warning, but there are still weak, low-level circulations that are showing up along that line. So again, tornado watch remains in effect. Even though we don't have warnings out for this portion of the line, we could see that quickly get upgraded if we see one of these circulations really tighten up and generate a tornado risk. Matt, you got something to highlight?
Yeah, let's start talking about power outages. We can go over to the 3x3 and kind of highlight some people that are without power at this time. It's really areas that were along this I-49 corridor, and then you follow this path further off through St. Clair County, through Henry County, through Bates County. Henry County, about 1,000 people without power. What's that, St. Clair? About 2,000 people without power. Let's go down to the south. Cedar County, about 1,100 people without power. Last time I checked, McDonald County in the corner of Missouri, that was at 2,000, so that's starting to decrease down to only 1,500. But a lot of times these power reports are a little bit delayed. We get them about an hour after the fact, and Christian County, that's worth mentioning, 200 people without power. I'm curious, do we have anyone? Only 32 without Greene County. So this is something that we also have to track throughout the night to make sure that people are kind of keeping those powered, because we have the concern of tornadoes, and then we also have the concern of fast winds that are doing enough damage to knock down these power lines, to knock down tree limbs, to kind of knock people without power. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Oh, looking over into Arkansas, was that about nearly 6,000 people in Madison County without power. That's about half the county right now that does not have power. So we're seeing the impacts of that. I think kind of the lasting impacts of these storms are going to be the power outages and also the flooding that takes place where a whole lot of rain has been dumped in places. We saw Carissa driving through Springfield, and she was mentioning how water is starting to pond in the roads. That's something that we have to watch out for. That's going to be kind of the lasting impacts of this storm once that line pushes through, Jamie.
Yeah, and getting back to, you know, we've got the rain issue, and as far as the rain is concerned, I mean, there has been in some areas lots of it that has prompted flash flood warnings. This is a quick peek at what that looks like, and I'll take that warning information off. But this is a quick peek at radar estimated rainfall, and it's just kind of a broad view of things. But you can see many areas here. Here's Highway 65. Many areas west of Highway 65, we've got pockets of at least 1 to 3 inches of rain. One there in the Nevada area up toward Warsaw. We've got another stripe of it here from Benton County into Greene County. And within these stripes of very heavy rainfall that's fallen, there are pockets that may exceed 4 inches. The atmosphere certainly was primed to produce that kind of rainfall. And because there's so much moisture in the atmosphere, and then the thunderstorms kind of use that and squeeze that rain out, you do get very high rainfall rates, sometimes on the order of 2 to 4 inches. So if you've got thunderstorms persisting with rainfall rates like that, you could literally get a few inches of rainfall in under an hour. And I think we have Carissa to go back to. Carissa, what are you seeing? Where exactly are you right now?
Yeah, Jamie, right now we are on Kansas Expressway heading south. I don't know if you guys got to us in time to see that big old lightning strike, but it lit up the sky here. Now the rain is pouring down. We did have a couple of minutes in between where we were like, oh, this is kind of nice. It's kind of lightening up. Now, definitely not. As we mentioned before, the water is pooling on the roads. Right here, we're going over a bridge here at Fast Night Creek, and we had to go real slow to make sure that we didn't push up any of that water. Now we are coming up eventually here on Battlefield. This is actually Effingdale, and then the next light that you see up there is Sunshine. Sorry about that, guys. So we are still continuing to drive around on these roads. Again, you do see a lot of people out on the roads. Guys, if you don't have to be out tonight, just don't do it, all right? I know that Jamie and Matt haven't said that there's any severe weather, severe thunderstorms in the Springfield area, but that doesn't mean that the rain isn't coming down. So this is why we're trying to show you guys what the roads are looking like. The speed limit right now is 45, and we are going about 35, and it is still looking like this. So make sure that if you do absolutely have to get out on the roads, take it slow, pay attention to that water that is pooling on the sides of the roads, and be safe out there. You can see we do have a lot of lightning strikes and It is pretty dark out there now officially, now that it is 8:40 approximately. And guys, again, I can't stress it enough, just you got to be safe if you're out there on the roads. We certainly are trying our best to be safe out here. Jamie, Matt?
And Carissa, right now, again, yeah, you're showing us again that very heavy rainfall that is occurring right now in your location, and that right now probably is the biggest, most widespread risk is heavy rainfall. I did want to highlight some of the reporting we've had so far in terms of storm reports. A lot of high wind reports or wind damage, especially as you get to I-49 and west of I-49. But we have had some spotty reports of strong winds or wind damage east of east of I-49 and west of Highway 65. As far as potential tornadoes, I think southeastern Henry County, we may have had a tornado on the ground. And then we were tracking that one very small circulation over Webster County east of High Prairie, crossing Highway 38. There's signs that maybe something tried to develop and touch down in that vicinity. Outside of that, though, I've not seen any evidence of any other tornado touchdowns. We probably have had some wind damage, though, resulting in some power outages, as Matt was highlighting earlier. This is what radar looks like right now. Matt did go ahead and inform me that earlier when we were talking with Carissa that all of the tornado warnings have been lifted for the area. So while the severe weather threat does persist, we don't have any tornado warnings in the area. And I'll take radar off so you can see that a little bit more clearly, but there are no tornado warnings in the area. At this stage of the game, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings for Christian County, Taney County. These do come with a tornado possible tag. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Carroll County down into northwestern Arkansas. Also for Newton County, the Jasper area, looks like we've got a severe thunderstorm warning that does come with a tornado possible tag, but technically no tornado warnings in our area. Tornado watches and the risk for tornadoes, though, will continue until we can get this line through the area. And I'll pop radar back on. This is what we've got to get through the area. You can see that line of severe thunderstorms, which extends from northern Missouri all the way back into southeastern Oklahoma. There is a risk for severe weather along this line, heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, could get some strong wind gusts still. We're not seeing much in the way of hail. That's something that we've really not talked about because there hasn't been much of that reported. This is our hail tracker product, and what we see is it looks like we may have a little hail core there to the north of Miller County, hail cores to the southwest of Jasper, but we're really not seeing anything in between. There could be some small hail, but I don't see any severe hail within the line that's currently moving through southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas. Getting back to radar, we're sitting at 843, so I'm going to go ahead and ask the producer what they may want to do, because oftentimes when we get to this stage, we don't have any tornado warnings per se. We would toss it back to regular programming. But we may stick with this since we are so close to the top of our 9 o'clock newscast on Fox, and we will absolutely continue our severe weather coverage and news coverage on Fox. I think we have Parker Paget right now. Producer's talking to me saying that I think we have Parker Paget to go to. Parker, where are you located and what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, Jamie, we are on Highway 76. We are heading towards the Cape Fair area, and you can just see, rain. I'm going to switch here to the, that's me. I'm going to switch to the roof cam. You can just see the rain just flying right by us, and kind of similar to what Carissa was saying, it's very dark here, and every time there's a lightning strike, basically illuminates the entire area, and that's pretty much what we have been seeing pretty much the entire night. 5 o'clock, we were in near Joplin. We kind of made our way towards Cassville when one of those cells were coming through. Now we're making our way east towards, we're currently in Stone County. You can see the lightning in the area just now with that. And so we're making our way east, trying to keep tabs on these storms to let you know where they're at and what kind of damages that they're bringing with them. It's just we're not seeing that at this moment. But we will continue to follow them. We'll continue to follow these storms. We'll continue to let you know as soon as we learn more information. So reporting live from the Storm Tracker, Parker Paget.
Update, Parker. And with that, because we don't have any tornado warnings in our viewing area, We will go back to regular programming. If you would like to join additional severe weather coverage, we are going to be back on certainly at the 9 o'clock hour. So just switch over to Fox if you'd like to get more updated information on what's happening with the severe weather. But for right now, no tornado warnings in the area, but the risk for severe weather does persist probably through at least midnight, maybe 1 o'clock this morning. Again, I'll have more information on Fox.